Alright, hey guys, Zomb Phox here. So, a couple minutes late, like I said, on the stream Friday, had a Mother's Day breakfast. Didn't know for sure if I was going to get here in time. Didn't. But we're here now again, we're like 3-ish minutes late. So, getting ready for this game. Of course, we are talking about the Roughnecks versus the Stallions. This is a big game for the UFL conference. This is a really big matchup because of how the records are. This is a game where the Roughnecks, they pull this one off, man. They're really in the playoff race, like, fully. So, we'll see if they can end up actually pulling this one off. I'm just pulling up some of the numbers and things I need to pull up on the side again. I, still haven't gotten fully set up. I thought this game was on ESPN. It's on ABC. So, I spent, 2 minutes trying to find it on ESPN Plus and Sling, and then I couldn't. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's right. It's on ABC. So, yeah, Sub Kick Surfer. We the ones who live. Perkins could be a QB2, QB3 in the league, although I still think most of these guys are just Spring League guys. Perkins definitely is the guy when we talk about this league right now, what we're seeing. It is pretty wild that was probably one of his worst games yesterday, and it was still better than most QB performances in the league, really. It is pretty wild. But yeah, this was it was definitely something else. Again, that game yesterday was insane for sure. It was just insane. So what pretty much ended up happening, sup Molten, sup MB. I'm going to the St. Louis versus BM game next Saturday. Nice, that should be a good one. But yesterday's game, man, that was wild. That was a great game. One of the best games of the season. The Renegades Panthers put on a classic yesterday. It was, I couldn't believe Michigan ended up pulling it off. I think a good lesson to be learned is that every yard matters. The fact that Michigan was able to win that game the way they did. Look, people can complain about the time. I've seen a lot of people complain about the refs. The refs were not the issue in that game. It was called pretty much how it should be. What ended up happening is that Perkins went for the hurdle instead of sliding, and it was pretty clear there was time left. And the official UFL site, I could check out one, but the official site did call it a first down, and it looked like a first down on TV. Let me actually pull this one up. Panthers versus Renegades Fox. So let's go to Fox on that one. I think I clicked on the wrong game. I did click on the wrong game. Nice. Let's click on that one. Live scoreboard. So that's not what I wanted. I'm trying to pull up the exact box score in that one, because I believe that it was called on the field that it was a first down. So because it was a first down, it means that the clock would have stopped anyway, so it really didn't matter. Yeah, play-by-play. Fourth quarter touchdown drive. Yeah, it was called a first down, so the clock would have stopped anyway. So even if Nolan didn't necessarily get it off in time, it still would have been able to call it because, again, the clock would have stopped. So it was the correct call to give him the timeout, and yeah. Sub Jordan Love Glazer. It was a game. That's the best way to put it. It was one of the football games of all time. Give a lot of credit to Arlington for making it a close game, but the fact is that my opinion on Arlington really doesn't change at all. My biggest issue with Arlington is that they couldn't close out close games. The fact that I was correct in predicting that it was going to be with it. When you have a 3-point spread and you pick the spread but pick the other team to win like I did, that says that there is a very serious problem with Arlington, and there is. Luis got sold. All I'll say is this. They need a new head coach. I defended him for a while. What it comes down to is when in back-to-back years, you are blowing so many essentially unlosable games like they have, it falls on the head coach above anyone else. Because last year, biggest issue, they had this incredible offense, couldn't do anything when it mattered. This year, incredible defense, can't do anything when it matters. That falls on the coach. So, they need a new head coach. As simple as that. Mbappe got the hat trick, nice. Not watching the Classico right now, obviously, since I'm in here, but they were up 2-0. I was keeping up the score a bit while at breakfast, and they then allowed 3 goals like that. It was insane. Houston gonna upset for real. Hey, I picked them to get the W. We'll see if they get it done. I do think they get it done. I know Merritt's out, but I think they got a couple of their DBs back, so, you know, bit of a benefit there. But yeah, Roughnecks, Stallions. So let's put out the poll for who wins. Of course, this game is on ABC. 25, 34, 3, 14. Yeah, that was the most passing yards in a single game this season, I believe, as well. They showed that on the broadcast and all that. That was like the most yards in a single game this year. So really impressive by Perez. It's just couldn't stop when it mattered. When it really mattered, the team couldn't get it done. They just let Perkins do what he needed to do. Tawa got that great rushing touchdown. They went for one. We were able to get it. Massive L for them. Simple as that. They definitely choked about that one. So, yeah. Let's see what I was going to pull up. I feel like I was going to pull something else up, but yeah. But we'll see how this game goes. Who's starting for Birmingham? It is Cookus. He is starting. Peasley is inactive. Of course, he was one of the many players for the Stallions team that's banged up. So they are starting Cookus again, though. Jamar Smith is quarterback 2. Martin is QB 3. So we might see their 5th quarterback play of the season if Jamar comes in at all. That will be their 5th quarterback to play this year. We'll see if that happens. It would be pretty wild if it happens to see another quarterback play for them, but you never know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see if that happens. But again, yeah. Now today is obviously Mother's Day, so it'll be interesting to see the numbers that these two games do today, of course, and attendance. Usually Mother's Day is one of the weaker days for very obvious reasons. So we'll find that out on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when all that news comes out. As well as the fact that, yes, with how everything's gone, there is a chance that both the Showboats and the Brahmas are eliminated. Let me pull that image up real quick. There it is. So both of these are still in play. Because Michigan won and DC beat San Antonio, it means that if the St. Louis Battlehawks beat Memphis and Birmingham wins today, both the Showboats and Brahmas are officially eliminated from playoff contention. Now, the Brahmas are all but eliminated. They're going to have literally everything go right for them at this point. Memphis, again, depends. If Birmingham wins, they're going to be in a must-win scenario against the Battlehawks. And the Brahmas are going to be needing Memphis to get the W. So this is important to note about the playoff scenarios. Again, no team could clinch this week. I don't even know if next week a team could clinch. I will know for sure, obviously, when I make that image later in the week. But we do have two teams that still could be eliminated this week because of the fact that DC did pull off the W and Michigan pulled off the W. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see if we see a team or two get eliminated this week. I expect the Brahmas to be eliminated because of the fact that I do think that the Roughnecks pull off the upset today. They get the W, which then obviously means that Memphis will still be alive even if they lose. And then I think that Battlehawks pull off the win against San Antonio, and that eliminates the Brahmas. But we'll see. I mean, sports yesterday was pretty wild. There, in terms of more wild things that happened yesterday, of course, well, the most wild thing aside, we had 2 last-second touchdowns. We had, of course, the Bryce Perkins touchdown, and then the rushing touchdown by Tawa and all that. But then, of course, the Oilers Golden Knights game, incredible ending. With 0.4 seconds left, the Vegas Golden Knights scored the game-winning goal, and it was because one of the 2 Hart Trophy favorites, Leon Draisaitl, tried to block a puck that he didn't need to block, and he ended up deflecting it into his own net, essentially costing his team the game. Insane ending. When they reviewed it, it was insanely obvious what had happened. Draisaitl made a very big mistake trying to block that puck, and it cost him the game. So instead of being potentially up 3-0 if they were to win in overtime, it is now that. Right now, that's probably the best playoff series in all of sports right now. All 3 games have been insanely fun to watch. So if you were to watch one playoff series right now, you should be watching the Golden Knights-Oilers series. That is easily the best playoff series going on right now. Adam with the Happy Mother's Day again. Of course, Happy Mother's Day to everybody. So mine earlier today, of course, for breakfast. Was there for like an hour and a half. Had a good time. But we've got 86% of people voting for the Roughnecks. I'm honestly shocked that many people are voting for them. And of course, Panthers broke the PFN curse of the #1 PFN team winning. And then, speaking of them, most people on there picked the Stallions win. But we'll see, yeah. Tell Houston I want to see Jalen and Nolan. I mean, hey, McLennan is starting. Nolan, I doubt he gets playing time just because of how McLennan's been, but we'll see. Again, shocked how many people are voting on the Roughnecks to win this one. I mean, again, I think the Roughnecks pull off this W, but Definitely shocking about that. Okay, turn that image off. Yes, I did. Good, good, good. Go back to Twitter, see what's coming up over here. Upset loading. Yeah, I do think an upset happens, but we'll see. I mean, sometimes this week, like, I know people are talking about the UFL and how Vegas has been weird for that, but apparently Valentina was the underdog yesterday in the UFC card. I don't know why she was, and she got the W, which not shocked at all. So we've seen a lot of underdogs be questionable this year. Of course, the NBA, right? You had like 7 straight underdogs outright winning, which had like never happened before. So a lot of pretty wild things that have happened when it comes to the Vegas odds, to the point where being an underdog really isn't a big deal anymore at this point. But we'll see. I want all the old USFL and XFL teams back. I don't want this league to stay with the current 8 teams forever. I mean, again, we don't know for sure, but from everything we've heard, we are expecting at least 2 teams to be added for the next season. We'll know for sure probably the championship weekend. I would assume when that game happens, we'll know for sure if they're going to be the expansion like we expect or not. But we'll see. Again, about time to start this game between the Roughnecks and the Stallions. Again, the Roughnecks were 5.5 point underdogs. The Stallions, right, it's an important game. When you look at the overall standings this year, you have the Stallions at 4-2 and the Roughnecks at 3-3. So if they win this, they both go to 4-3. But due to divisional records, because of the fact that the Stallions would then drop to 2-2, whereas the Roughnecks would actually jump up to 3-1, the Roughnecks would hold the 2nd spot in the USFL conference if they win this game. Yes, they have the even head-to-head record, but because of the fact that Houston's only divisional loss was to the Stallions versus Birmingham, who have lost to Memphis, helps Houston out a lot. So that is a very important thing to note for this game. I want someone else other than BM to win the championship. Yeah, at this point, I think most people feel like it's going to be Michigan, DC, or St. Louis. I know technically, you know, Arlington's still in there, Houston still is, but I think most people say the other one, so yeah. But we'll see. If Houston goes to the playoffs, I'm going to laugh. Yeah, the 180 Curtis Johnson has somehow pulled this season is wild. The fact that he's slowly growing. Because, like, all the coaching this season has basically been, like, Bob Stoops' stock has fallen off a cliff, and Nolan's was all questioned about the quarterback decision. But Nolan's challenge yesterday against Arlington was a brilliant one. He challenged that holding call, got the penalty, got rid of that touchdown. It was huge for them. Michigan St. Louis would be a great championship. Both games they've given us have been really good games. Insanely close. Title game would be insane. Dude, if Birmingham still pulls it off, that would be... If Birmingham pulls it off, they're inevitable. Like, it's that simple. They somehow pull off this W and win it. Oh, my goodness. Sub T-Dog. Doing pretty well. Had to start streaming a couple minutes late because of Mother's Day breakfast, but we're all good. Got everything set up. And, again, the game's about to kick off. Houston, remember, if Houston wins, they jump to the number 2 spot in the USFL conference, meaning that at the moment, they would be a playoff team if they win this game, which is insane, but it's true. Again, we got the poll up for who do you think wins the game, the Roughnecks or the Stallions. A ton of people are voting for Houston. Okay, of course, we got Joe Testor in the booth, so we'll see how this goes. Houston wins today. That's pure chaos. I mean, dude, Houston win would be insane for the league in a lot of ways. But yeah, Greg Williams was wrong for that. The league is going to be 4 teams added in 2025 and other teams. Yeah, I don't know where Greg Williams... Greg Williams just definitely yapping when that whole thing happened. I mean, I think we all knew that was definitely not going to happen. But it was definitely wild to see when he said that a while back. Yeah, you got Joe Test in the booth. So, of course, huge thing. Viva Roughneck Revolution. The Roughnecks, man, it's insane. And because, of course, it's Mother's Day on a Sunday in Birmingham, you know that this isn't going to be a tough crowd for Houston to go against. If Houston's going to pull off another one of their classic upsets against Birmingham, it would be this game. Now, looking at the schedules remaining for both teams, while we're still obviously waiting for this game to fully start, Birmingham ends the season at St. Louis, at home against Michigan, and at Memphis, whereas Houston ends the season playing Michigan and DC, and then Michigan again. So this is a much more important game for Houston because Houston's last 3 games is probably the toughest final 3 stretch in the entire league. Having to play Michigan twice to end this in your last 3 games and then DC in between, that's a rough final stretch. So Houston needs to pull off this win if they want a real shot at the playoffs. Pray for Houston. Roughnecks by a million. Roughnecks 52, Stallions 0. Your Michigan fans have thoroughly surprised me this season. Houston definitely needs this win today. I know a lot of people heading into the season were really, not high in the Panthers, and it was kind of weird to me because I've always talked about it. You being an NFL player doesn't mean anything when it comes to spring football. It's more important that you've been good at spring football, which is why that I was fine with the Panthers, because the Panthers really didn't change their roster all that much from last year. And I know a couple people personally that said that was the biggest issue with the team, and I thought it was the opposite. I thought that was the best part of the team. Because as we've seen, the Brahmas, yes, there's the coaching issues, but they changed a decent amount of their team, mainly on offense, and it fell off a cliff, right? Birmingham, they always have to change their roster. This year, hasn't worked as well. But Michigan, that's what I thought. The best USL, but didn't expect a 5-2 record. Hey, most people agree with that. The fact is, when you had Houston and Memphis, I know a lot of people weren't too high in both of them. I know some were high in Houston, but not the way they've been playing this year. It's been a bit different in how they've ended up being better than expected. But yeah, Michigan almost choked yesterday. I would say it was the opposite. Michigan, that's one of those games where if you're Arlington and I know Jordan Love Glazer and a few other people are Arlington fans, I'd be sick to my stomach. That was an inexcusable loss for Arlington. The fact that you got not one but 2 gift fumbles, not gift in the sense of the Battlehawks, Manny Wilkins, literal gift fumble, but you know what I mean. You got 2 fumbles in really good field position, and you still lost. That's bad. That's bad. That's really bad. So yeah. The expectation is 2026. I know there's been some quotes that make it sound like it's not going to happen, but odds are it would be 2026. Blowing games just like the Cowboys. Yeah, Arlington is cooked. They've gotten more exposed this season than DC. I wouldn't even, it's like I believe it was Mike Bell I responded to. I wouldn't even call it being exposed. They're really just the same team as last year, but the roles are reversed, offense and defense. Instead of great offense, great defense. They just can't close out games, and it's why at the end of the day they need a new head coach. Because when you've had the same head coach for both seasons, your offense and defense fully swapped which one is good, but you're still choking all these games, that falls on Bob Stoops almost alone. It's on him. The penalties they take so many inexcusable penalties. Yes, they have a ton of false starts, but they have a lot of delay of game penalties. And if there's any team that shouldn't be taking any of them, it's the team that has the same head coach, OC, and quarterback from last year. So why is it Arlington? Coaching. Roughnecks will get the ball first. It is going to be kneeled in the end zone. Again, the Roughnecks, it's a big deal for them. They win this game. They jump to number 2 in the USL Conference thanks to conference record. So this is Jalen McClendon versus Case Cookus. Though Case Cookus is a little banged up, his backup for today is Jamar Smith. If Smith sees the field, that is the 5th quarterback to play for the Stallions. Not due to performance, but due to injuries. So we'll see what happens, but let's see what McClendon can do in his first drive. 1st and 10 for the Roughnecks. It'll be interesting. Again, McClendon, he hasn't thrown a lot of touchdowns at all, but he's been a very accurate and effective passer, and he's been something that the other 2 Roughnecks quarterbacks weren't. Consistent. Again, he is the weakest on the ground of the 3 Roughnecks quarterbacks, but the fact is his completion percentage is insanely high. He's a very accurate passer. Let's see what they do here. 1st and 10. Running back to his left in the backfield with him. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ball is snapped. Hands it off, and it's going to be a run right up the middle. Gets tackled immediately at the line of scrimmage for a 0-yard gain. I hope Houston wins today. I know a lot of people also hope that they win. Most people end up voting for them to actually pull off this W. Let's see that. We've got, pretty much everybody but one person picked them to win. That's pretty wild, but let's see. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Roughnecks. McClendon is in shotgun again, running back to his right. 3 receivers to his left this time and 1 to his right. Motioning running back to the left, and Kirkmere is out. Ball is snapped. Looks to his left, throws over the middle. It is going to be caught at about the 40, up to about the 42-yard line. Going to be about 3rd and 3 for the Houston Roughnecks. Very solid, simple play, nothing insane, but get some yardage, make it a very manageable 3rd down. I think show let's keep it respectable. I do think they keep it somewhat close. I don't remember exactly what my final score prediction was for that one, but I don't expect it to be a total blowout. I don't expect it to be like the last 2 Brahmas games before DC, but we'll see. I mean, the Battlehawks, they know that if they win that game, it's almost a cakewalk to the playoffs because of the fact that Arlington lost, so we'll see. 3rd and 3. McClendon motions the RB to the right. Ball is snapped, looks to his left. Quick throws out to the sideline. It is caught for the 1st down and gets about another 4 yards. Very solid 7-yard gain for the Roughnecks, 1st downs. Whoever voted for Birmingham, thank you for helping us avoid the big sweep jinx. Hey, I will say, I'm pretty sure both Michigan and DC were sweep picks on the PFN board. So we did see that end up working out. Perkins destroy the run, and MV Perkins just got to beat the Stallions in a team the Battlehawks haven't ever beaten. Perkins, man, easily the MVP this season. They can try to act like Tiama's there. He's really not. Under center, McClendon hands off the ball, but he gets tackled at the line of scrimmage. And the Roughnecks seem to be the team that uses under center the most. It's not just in those gimmicky, like goal line plays. They legit will use it at times, which is very rare to see in the UFL, even the NFL to an extent, but it's the one thing they do a lot. Bryce Perkins, what he did yesterday, that was probably his 2nd to worst game of the season, and it was still such a good game by him. I mean, that's how you know he's been great. I mean, he is pretty much MVP, and then 2nd place distant is, I guess because of the fumble and performance, would have to be Teamu, even though it's pretty wild to say that. Though Teamu had a great game on Friday, the best game of the season for sure. 2nd and 10 for the Roughnecks, fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, evades the sack, throws it over the middle of the field. It is a beautiful dart pass to the sideline. Is it going to be caught? It is going to be called a catch. Incredible throw and an incredible reception. That's why they have Jalen McClendon still at quarterback and not Nolan Henderson or Anthony Brown. Was able to evade the sack and throw a great pass in the sideline where only his guy could catch it. Let's see that again. Caught, incredible catch right there. Love to see that. That's a beautiful one right there. 1st and 10 for the Roughnecks. Ball is snapped. Looks over the middle of the field. Quick throws. It is caught. Going to be at a 4-yard gain. So Trevor R, saw your message. Yeah, my family's doing well. I was just a Mother's Day breakfast in the morning and ended up staying there a bit late. So I came to this, a bit late. But yeah. This is the only game where if the attendance is bad, they have an excuse. Yeah, I mean, I think we all know it's not going to be great today. That's for sure. Talent-wise, no, but the love of football-wise, yes, it is. You got to love the UFL. Yeah, the UFL is better than the NFL when it comes to watching the product. Of course, talent-wise, the NFL is just way better. But NFL games, man, there's so much more of a bore. Pass to the right is caught, gets to the 20-yard line, gets tackled. Forward progress, so it's still going to be about a 3.5-yard gain. G League. I've never watched a G League game. It's like I always say, I've always watched every UFL and college game I can. I fall asleep during the NFL. Don't have a problem with college football. I will stay up till like 4 in the morning, wake up at 10, and I'll still watch every college football game that I want to watch that day. NFL, I fall asleep every time. 3rd and 3 for the Roughnecks. McClendon is in shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. He's got 2 guys in the backfield with him. Tight end motioning him to the left. Ooh, some motion. Let's see what they call that. This might be neutral zone infraction. Neutral zone infraction. Big one. Chiefs, Bills, you fell asleep. Not Chiefs, Bills, but during the regular season, those games at 1 o'clock. When you watch those 1 o'clock games, yeah. The playoffs, different story. The playoff games, well, not all of them are great, but a lot of them were really solid. Playoffs are always really solid. Not always, but sometimes were. Like that, dude, the Lions-Commies game, that was a fun one. That was a fun game to watch. 5-5 for 46 yards. And McClendon's being very solid right now. It's insane for sure. Ball is snapped. Handed off. Gets about 3 yards on the ground. 2nd and 7. Will say my favorite thing about Chiefs-Bills games, especially in the playoffs, is Bills fans making so many excuses every single time the Bills lose. It's like they can never admit they just aren't as good. Like, come on. Did any of y'all actually watch the Damar Hamlin game? Yeah, I did watch that one. It was a scene. It really was a scene. That one and the helmet. I saw the helmet one too. The Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph. I also saw that one live on TV. Absolutely insane times. 2nd and 8. Ball is snapped. McClendon looks to his right. Looks to the middle of the field. Rolling to his right. Throws the little dump off to the RB, who gets a solid 4-yard gain. Going to be about 3rd and 4. How long does the UFL got to be around until we have a spring football Hall of Fame? If you wanted to make it legit, you got to be around at least 10 years. That's for sure. If you want to make your own little Hall of Fame like the UFC has, kind of the UFC. If you know the UFC Hall of Fame, it's like a little hallway in Vegas. If you want to do that, the Arlington thing, you got to be around at least 10 years, I'd say. 6 is 6 now for 50 yards. Love to see that. 3rd and 3 for the Roughnecks. Ball is snapped. Handed off, and it's going to be a 1st down. And it is going to be a touchdown for the Roughnecks. They should call it a touchdown. They are calling it a touchdown. 6-0 for the Roughnecks to start the game. Yeah, because if you do less than 10 years, it kind of, like, I get if you want to do the AF, but it's kind of hard to do that. But yeah, if you do it like 10 years, get a little area in the Arlington HQ, I think you can do that. Great play right there. McClendon ran with the RB for a bit. Was able to divert some attention. Overall, just a great run. I mean, this is without Kirk Merritt, so we love to see that for the Roughnecks. Again, I know a lot of people put this team low in the power rankings. Thought they were going to get this W. They're going for one. Debatable decision. Motion the RB to the left. Ball is snapped. They hand it off. Does not get it. So they will be stopped there, so at least they get a little bit of a stop right there. Touchdown goal, Tutty baby. Insane beginning right there for the Roughnecks. Great first drive. And that's the one thing that the Stallions, man, they haven't been the same team as they were last year. Again, remember, the Stallions will lose this game. They will break their franchise record for most losses in a single season. The most they've ever had is 2. So if they lose this one, they break their record. Not a record they want to break, but they will break it. Let's see. What's the score of the Real Madrid game? Trying to see. Maybe they pulled off some sort of comeback. They did not pull off a comeback. There's like a minute left. Aggravating game for Madrid. Just, it's 5-3 all of a sudden. No, it's supposed to be 4-3. Yeah, it's 4-3. All I know is it's pretty bad. They needed this win. If they win this game, they get kind of back into it, but they choked. This was a bad season. I know I've said it in other streams. They shouldn't have gotten Mbappe. They broke the rule of too many chefs in the kitchen. It was a bad move to get Mbappe. He has not worked at all. Just terrible. Maybe they learn. They won't, but maybe. BM misses the playoffs. Birmingham would also fall to 3rd in the UFL division to lose. Houston cooking. Michigan City do a good job in PATs. Diabolical work, really. Mahler's jersey. Hey, I wish I got the purple and orange, but this was also a great jersey. I am glad I got this one. So, yeah, definitely W jersey. I was thinking about which jersey to wear today, and I was like, man, I'll just wear the Mahler's one. I mean, this is a USFL conference matchup. A classic team. We'll put that one on. Yeah, Michigan, I mean, with the resurgence of Perkins' ground ability starting in week 3 and then getting Tawa at RB, you've got this great duo that makes any, like, within 3-yard play just a nightmare. And so it's why I've said before that I'm fine with them going for one, because they're so successful at it, because you have such a good duo to do those plays. It's just great, right? So when you have that 1-2 punch like that, man, it makes it a great unit. I mean, like, we all knew they were running it up the middle on that 1-point game. We all knew they were going to do it. The Renegades knew they were going to do it, and they couldn't stop it. 103. That's actually wild. I wish I would have attended the XFL inaugural game. I had ticks for the back 9. The days. Went the first game, or the first season of games. I wish I had a team closer to me. That's what I wish. I definitely would attend a lot more if the closest team wasn't 6 hours away from me. But is what it is. I just hope that next season they revert some of those ticket prices back to what they kind of used to be. Go to the USFL ticket prices, but we'll see. What percentage chance do you put in expansion in 2026? I would say about a 70-ish% chance. I think it's kind of hard. Like, if they're going to expand, it's going to be 2026. But I know there's the whole thing about how they've kind of made it not fully. I would say it's about a 70-30 chance, honestly. That's what I would say. Aaron Dolan, bro. Ain't nobody want to hear this. Like, you ain't analyzing. You're just saying the lines. Like, dude, just saying the betting lines is not analyzing. Come on. -1.5 is the spread right now. That's wild. Now, if they expand, they're gonna add one team to each conference, so it'll be to 10 teams. It's just gonna be interesting to see what they do with the season whenever they do that. So let's see what the Stallions do. It'll be interesting to see what the Stallions do. I think we just got a UFL update spot right there. I think I just saw him in the back of the end zone. Return is up to the 25 to 30, and he gets tackled about the 30-yard line. Ooh, I just realized I forgot to post that I'm live on Twitter. Let me do that real quick. I am live for the Roughnecks versus Stallions game. There we go. I hope you're right. Yeah, I do think it'll be then. It'll be hard to expect it to be in the future if it's not this year. It will be cool to see the Maulers back, but I definitely don't think that it's going to be one of the first ones. That will be cool. Run is to the left, bounces out, gets about 4 yards in the carry. Looked like he was about to lose 2 yards, ended up bouncing too far and got a solid 4-yard gain on first down. Again, Jalen Morton was dominating the IFL, right? I believe it was the IFL. I always get it mixed up, but he was dominating the arena leagues last year, this year. Again, quarterback wearing 24 is pretty wild, but yes, he is the QB3 right now for the Stallions behind Jamar Smith, who, yes, is back again this season. So we'll see what the Stallions do here. Again, Cookus isn't at quarterback. 2nd and 5. Wow, I give him a nice spot there. 3 receivers to the right. Motioning the RB to the left now. Ball snap. They hand it off. It's going to be run to the right. Cuts back to the middle. And dives for the first down. He might be called about a half-yard shy, but that should be a first down. Solid run right there. Yeah, I do think the Breakers have a good shot. The Shrine, if it gets finished being renovated, would be a great place for them to play. It's like a 10, 15-ish K stadium size, so very smaller, like a smaller stadium, which a lot of people want to see. That would be a great place to play if they can do that. They're going to call him short. 3rd and 1 for the Stallions. Let's see if they can get this one. Cook is in shotgun, running back to his left. Tight end to the left as well, and then receivers on both sides. Ball is snapped. They hand it off. He cuts to the left. And he did get the first down. Good one right there. Breakers are such a great team. Hate they got taken off. I agree. They were such a good team. They were a cool team. They were easily the 2nd best team in the USFL. That 2023 team, man, that was a great team. Halfway down in the first quarter, we're at under 7.5 minutes. Yes, if Houston wins, they are 2nd in the USFL conference because they will have a 3-1 conference record versus Birmingham's 2-2. So they will edge out in tiebreaker and get that spot. Handoff once again, but he gets tackled immediately. It's going to be a 0-yard gain. I just hope they at least do 1-1. Like, they bring back one old team and then make one new expansion team. That's what I would like to see. Not just bring back only 2 old teams or only 2 new teams, just because then you give a lot of hope to people in various places who are fans of the UFL, but we'll see. 2nd and 9 for the Stallions. They'd give him a decent spot there, giving him about a yard there. Haven't seen really any passing attempt here. Cookus is in shotgun, running back to his right. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hand it off again. Maribel's going to lose about 4 yards on the carry. That's not a good one right there. Again, because of forward progress, it's only going to be about a 4-yard loss, not like a 7-yard loss, but still a bad tackle to take right there by CJ. Try to bounce out, couldn't bounce out. Bad play for them right there. Jameer Jones, defensive end. Okay, the Roughnecks team, man, they're not even fully healthy. They got a bit healthier in this game, but also got a bit more banged up on offense. from the last week, but 3rd and 13. They're going to have to pass here. Cookus drops back, rolls up to the front. He might run it. He's going to run for it. Gets to the 45, but he gets tackled about a yard shy. This is a area where you might want to consider going for it. You're in that midfield area. Punting it is not the greatest in field position battle. And again, like I've always said, if you're within 1 yard, you should go for it. So depending on where they spot this, I would go for it. Hoping the Roughnecks win this one. I know a lot of people do, and I mean, hey, if they win, it makes the UFL conference a much closer thing. Because if the Stallions end up pulling off the sweep against Houston, it's going to be really tough for Houston to make the playoffs, even though they get the chance to play Michigan twice, but we'll see. They gave him the first down. That's pretty insane. Ball is snapped. Rolls to his left. Quick throws, and a bad throw by Cookus. Incomplete pass. Let's go over here. Wow, okay, so Twitter, why you lagging? Trying to look at what my score prediction was for this game, because, again, like I said earlier, I kind of forgot what my prediction was for this game. Okay, I predicted 25-22 Houston win. That's what I did predict. So we'll see if that ends up happening. And yeah, I had the St. Louis-Memphis game being about an 8-point difference. So did predict that game was going to be a close one, so we'll see if they end up making it actually a close one. Ball is snapped. Cookus drops back, looks to his left, throws. There is a flag. It is a really short pass, incomplete. Cookus is not looking too good right now. I wish Arlington won yesterday. Zomb called the Panthers winning. That 0.5 second time at the end was insane. That was an insane ending. I just can't believe Arlington choked again. Like, it's just... I'm just shocked that it ended up being like I predicted. Like, saying that it was going to be within 3 points is such an insane call. I can't believe I got that right. I really couldn't believe that it ended like that. But like I said on Twitter, it's how Arlington's played 2 straight years. You got that feeling that once the 2-minute warning hits, you're like, man, the Renegades are about to find a way to lose this game. 2nd and 5 for the Stallions. They quick pass to the right. It is going to be caught. Nice first down play. Again, could have been a better pass, but still, good one. Was an insane game for sure. I mean, that really was a wild one. I will say, though, man, Perkins got so lucky that there was a second left in that clock and he got the first down. Because if they had lost because he went for the jump and not for the slide, that would have been the funniest thing ever. Looks like most of all seats are available in Memphis are sold. Well, I would be. We'll see. I mean, hey, they only have to have like 700 people show up, and it's better than Houston. 1st and 10, ball is snapped. They hand it off. Delayed handoff. Gets about a 7-ish yard gain. Ooh, he's still on his feet. He might have gotten a first down. Really great run by Ricky Person Jr. right there. Incredible one. Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue, like I talked about earlier, was definitely those 2 fumbles that they had, the one in special teams and the one Perkins had. Those 2 fumbles really hurt, and the fact that Perkins almost lost that one fumble, again, it just got lucky, bounced right back to him in the end zone. But the one he did lose and the one that special teams lost, I mean, those are plays that really hurt. I know that, some people were hoping Arlington would have gone for it that 4th down, but they got a free field goal they shouldn't have really even been in position for. Overall, I would agree with that to a good extent. The Panthers didn't even play that well, and that was probably their second to worst game they've played all season. Their worst game being the Birmingham one, and they still won. Incredible rush by Ricky Person Jr. Gets about to the 9-yard line on that rush. A solid 20-plus yard run right there for Ricky Person, or a little bit shy of a 20-yard run. Incredible for him. Again, huge hole in the right side of the line. Was able to just go right through it. But good coverage on the back end by the Roughnecks being able to get the tackle. So we'll see if the Stallions can score a touchdown and answer, get this game tied, or potentially get the lead if they get the extra point. Ricky Person, 6 rushes for 40 yards. Pretty solid stat so far. 1st and goal for the Stallions. All the receivers to the left side of the field, aside from the tight end. They hand it off again. Maribel's going to run, and Maribel gets the touchdown. 9-yard rushing touchdown for C.J. Maribel. Huge play for them right there. Tie game. That was a crushing red zone fumble. Yeah, I can't believe the Panthers won it. When it was at the end of the game, I was shouting, just hand it off to Tawa in the middle. Don't do no special play, just hand it off to Tawa. They did it twice and it worked. The Renegades knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. Couldn't stop it. Insane. Tie game now for the Roughnecks versus the Stallions. Let's see what the Stallions do on this extra point attempt. I would imagine they're probably going to go for 2 here, get the lead, if they can make it. Yep, they are going to go for 2. Cookus is by himself in the backfield. 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ball is snapped, looks to the left. Quick throws, it's a one-on-one throw. And it is incomplete. They tried to do the classic Jordan Thomas jump pass, but it was unsuccessful. Great coverage by the DBs on Houston. So it remains a tie game, 6-6. Yeah, offense is looking pretty solid so far. Well, I would say this. The ground attack, Cookis still isn't looking all that great. Again, this was just the first drive, but Cookis so far, man, looking a bit shaky. A lot of questionable throws he's made. Even like the completions have been a bit questionable throws. But McClendon, he's looked great. The ground game for both the Roughnecks and the Stallions, especially the Stallions, has looked really good, all things considered. Right, the Stallions will take like a 4-yard loss and immediately bounce back with a 10-yard rush. Really solid, especially that play by Maribel right after the person one, back-to-back 10-plus, or would have been 10-plus if it wasn't a touchdown. Great rushes for the Stallions. 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the first quarter. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, 2 failed extra point attempts. Great start so far. Ricky Person is flying. Wow, Stallions Twitter not being like insanely far behind, which I will say it's hilarious. Like when the Renegades would tweet something, like they're actively choking the game and they're tweeting about how we just got a field goal. Like that was hilarious. That was great. 4-12 on the season. That's not great. That's rough. Overall stats so far, yeah, Cookis is 1 of 3 for 7 yards, and like we saw, that one completion he had itself wasn't even that great. So Quandre White hasn't been doing all that great in the ground technically, but he's looked decent so far. As for the Stallions, Ricky Person's looking really solid. I mean, overall, it's a good game so far. Active first quarter. We're 5 of 5 on third downs, which, especially when we just saw that, last live stream game was not necessarily a great third down game between the Brahmas and DC. This is a pretty wild one, so yeah. Birmingham point differential plus 27. Absolutely wild. Their point differential is still that high, honestly. It really is. I forgot what other games are on today. Let me check that. NHL. So we got the Jets Stars today and the Leafs Panthers. That's been a pretty good series too. NBA, we have the Thunder Nuggets and the Cavs Pacers. Hey, nobody care about the Cavs Pacers. PGA, we got the Truist today. Of course, none of the big guys have started yet, but it looks like it's going to be a one-on-one matchup between Straka and Lowry. Which Lowry hasn't won in a minute, so maybe he gets the W or somebody makes a big comeback. We'll see. Yeah, this time of the year, this is one of the best times of the year when it comes to sports because you got so many things going on in this like May, June-ish area. I know a lot of people like January, but this May time, you got playoffs in 2 different leagues. You got the UFL going on. You got the PGA going on. You have this is when you have like the big tournaments going on for the PGA. And then obviously you got the year-round sports that are still, going on like the UFC and all that. Good time for the year, for sure. Soccer's still going on at the end of the season, so you've got, your big Champions League matchups in May as well, and your big matchups in the Premier League and La Liga when it comes to actually winning the league. Great time of the month. I would say May is probably overall the best month for sports in the calendar year. I know there's no NFL, so a lot of people would say that's not true, but even during the peak area of the NFL, like October, that's really the only one that rivals it because you have the beginning of the season for, hockey and basketball. You have the NFL season kind of in full swing. You have the playoffs for baseball. It's a tough one, but I'll probably go with May. But I'm locked in on the UFL. I don't have time for other sports. I know I've joked about it before, but seriously, the Cavs-Pacers series has got to be the most who cares series going on in all of sports right now. Because, the NHL series are all incredible matchups. Then the other 3 NBA series are, big deals with the Pacers versus the Cavs. It's like, bruh, nobody care. Well, let's see what the Roughnecks can do in this upcoming drive. Again, back-to-back touchdowns, first quarter, potential shootout. We'll see. Again, pretty crazy start. We'll see how Houston does in this drive. Again, McClendon so far hasn't missed a single pass. Again, last week he was very similar about that, where he started the season really hot when it sub-teaser. But we'll see exactly how they do. Kick is up. The Roughnecks will get the ball starting at about the 8, gets to the 10, the 15, returns to the 20, the 25, the 30, 35, gets tackled about the 36-yard line. Big return for the Roughnecks to start this drive. So they'll get the ball at about the 36-yard line. We'll see what they can pull off here. Again, after this game on ESPN will be the Battlehawks versus the Showboats. So that is, of course, the next one. But let's see what they do here. But yeah, with Barcelona getting the W over Real Madrid, Madrid's chances of winning La Liga, I think, are done. Hate to see it. Terrible season for him. Blame Mbappe. Almost fully. 1st and 10 for the Roughnecks. McClendon is in shotgun. White to his right in the backfield. 2 receivers on both sides of the ball. Ball is snapped. Looks to his right. Looks to the middle of the field. Quick throws over the middle of the field. It is going to be caught to the left. And that is a great throw right there. Just a very solid throw to the left. Caught for the first down. Interviewing Case Cooks on the sideline. Mad Max versus Dresser win. That's going to be one of the quarterback matchups of all time. That could be a really fun game. It really could with those two guys. I can't believe they're interviewing Cookus after that drive. Like, no offense to Case. I mean, he's the chef, but, like, he was not cooking on that drive. 1st and 10. McClendon is under center. RB behind him. 2 receivers on both sides of the ball. Motioning his one from the left to the right. It's going to be a handoff. Ooh, big run up to the 40, the 30, the 20. It's going to be a touchdown. Massive touchdown one for Zaquandre White. Incredible. That's the biggest thing with this Roughnecks offense. For how much we like to trash on CJ. This team utilizing the under center approach more than any other team allows for that to happen. When you're in a league and an era where every play's out of shotgun, when you do a basic run play like that, teams are not well versed in defending it like they should be. The hole opened up. White made a great cut. Incredible rushing touchdown. A 50-plus yard touchdown for Zaquandre White. One of the biggest rushes of the season. It is 12-6 in the first quarter. That is why you run plays under center. That's what you love to see. Big play. They're going to go for 1 right now. So let's see if they can do this here. They hand it off. Do not get it, so they fail on that again. Insane play right there. I mean, that's why you run plays under center. You get stuff like that happens. Why are there so many teams that don't play under center? Analytics, probably. Analytics is the biggest excuse for why they do things, and that's probably it. There's analytically, it's not the beneficial play because, you know, you get to... It's about the drop back, right? If you do a drop back from under center, you have to drop back like 5-6 steps versus, you know, shotgun where you drop back like once. But overall, when you get good at it, man, it's great. Panthers versus Defenders in the championship. I wouldn't be too shocked at that one. DC just seems to pull off wins somehow. Drill, baby, drill. It's pretty wild. That's an incredible one right there. Interviewing White in the sideline. Insane right there. That was insane right there. Just an awesome run. That's why you go and do things like that. Under center run. Basic play that nobody likes to do anymore. Insane. Return gets to about the 30-ish yard line. Wild start for the Roughnecks right now. Also, look ahead at the Week 10 games. Should be fantastic matchups. Roughnecks versus Panthers will be a good one. I mean, you've got DC versus St. Louis, and you got Roughnecks versus Panthers. Those are two massive matchups in Week 10. Like, those could be legit matchups for a playoff spot. Well, XL Conference is looking less likely, but those are massive matchups. It's insane. I think CJ going to save his job. I think he has. I mean, it's insane, but somehow he's pulled it off. I mean, this team, if they get this W today, Cook is in shotgun, ball snapped, handed off again, and he gets tackled for about a 2-yard loss on the play. Bad first down play for them right there. CJ no longer looking like a joke. Wild that it's the truth, but I mean, hey, this offense, utilizing under center plays, they have a very traditional styled quarterback in a guy who, yes, he can do a bit of motion, but really is just a pocket passer. Pretty wild. 2nd and 10 for the Stallions. 2 receivers on both sides of the ball. Running back to the left. Motioning Maribel to the right. Ball is snapped. Looks to the left. Throws it. Is going to be caught, but it's only being caught about the 40-yard line. This is going to still be about like 3rd and 6. Stallions are a bad team. Not as good as they were the past couple of years, that's for sure. They are nowhere near as good as they were. This team would get beat by last year's team by a lot. Bob Stoops has replaced C.J. Johnson as the league's punchline. Somehow true. Stoops is easily the worst coach in the league right now, which I can't believe I'm saying. But with all the issues Arlington has had the last 2 years, it all pretty much falls on him. I hate rooting against Cookus. It is true. Cookus is such a good story. It really does suck. 3rd and 6. Motions Maribel to the left. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Ball is snapped. Looks to his left. Throws it. It is going to be intercepted by the Roughnecks. This might be a pick 6. He's going, just as Cookus to beat. Makes a cut, and it's a touchdown. 18-6. Roughnecks get the pick 6. We might have a total annihilation on our hands in Birmingham. It is the end of the first quarter. It is 18-6. Insane. Cookus threw an awful pass where he had 2 receivers and 2 DBs right next to each other, and the route got jumped, and it's an interception for a pick 6. Absolutely insane. Wow. We might have a clinic in Birmingham. 18-6. We're still in it's the end of the first quarter, but we're still in the first quarter. Sup, Cat Mom? Oh, okay. Yeah, sup, Catherine. But insane right there. Birmingham stinks. This is bad for them. Ain't that the truth? Let's see if they get this 2-point conversion. They get it. They're up 20-6. Ball is snapped. Looks to his left. It gets batted, so it will be incomplete. But 18-6 at the end of the first quarter. First real Birmingham embarrassment? It might be. This is insane. I mean, oh my goodness. What an insane way for this game to start. Damon Arnett with the pick 6. Oh no. Interviewing Case Cookus while that play happened is hilarious. Dude, even the official Roughnecks Twitter literally has it with the clip of Cookus talking about it. That's great. I mean, this is insane. I mean, I know I picked Houston to win, but oh my gosh. I know, right? Birmingham 11 TDs. Jamar lock-in. I know the theory last year was that Jamar's injuries like kind of hurt him too much and that they didn't really want him to play. But they have him as QB2, so I don't know how much truth there is to that. But after this, man, you might want to put Jamar in. Because, again, so far, Cookus is not looking good today. But absolutely insane for Houston. 18-6. Wild. Nah, Jamar was great in 2022. Before he got sick during, like, the last third of the season, he was the best QB in the league, and then he kind of fell off to being like the third, fourth best QB, fourth best behind Cookus and the 2 Generals quarterbacks. But after that, he got hurt initially in 23, and we basically haven't seen him since. Wild game. I mean, absolutely wild. I got to see what the messages in Discord are for this. It's got to be wild. It's pretty wild. Damon Arnett scoring a touchdown in 2025 is insane. Like, this is hilarious. Do you think Jamar, or do you think that Houston can win it all? With how the league is this year, they could. I don't think they will, but they can. The fact is, even with Michigan beating Arlington, I'll still stand by it. There's no true number 1 best team in the league like it's been the past couple of years, right? And even though Arlington beat DC in the championship game, DC was the best team in the XFL in 2023. There's no team this year that dominant. So Houston could pull it off. If they're fully healthy, their DBs are healthy, Merritt is healthy, White is healthy, McClendon is healthy, and their 2 big receivers. That's a really tough team to truly destroy. So I would say they have a chance. Battlehawks are playing in Memphis today. That game will be at 3 o'clock on ESPN and ESPN+. They are playing in Memphis. Interviewing Kate. Dude, I love how Skip is so nonchalant with Cookus, yet every time he was on the sideline with Corral and Magoo, he was just like trashing them the whole time. It'll be interesting. If Memphis attendance goes up after what happened in Houston, that would be hilariously bad for Houston. Speaking of Houston, though, insane right there. I mean, seriously, wild play we just saw from Houston. You know, I didn't think I'd need to turn on my fan, but I do. There we go. Turn it on the lowest setting, because that thing is loud for, like, no reason at all. Coach put me in. Sorry, and I had played when you said that. They are playing in Memphis. The return is to about the 18-yard line. Incredible coverage by the Roughnecks. But yeah, the game is in Memphis today. If Houston pulls out, the Showboats cannot be eliminated this week. It is wild, that's the truth. I mean, and then, of course, the Battlehawks game. Also, still that one, though, does matter for San Antonio. San Antonio, this game does not matter for San Antonio. Of course, if the Battlehawks do pull out the W, San Antonio is the first team eliminated from the playoffs. Just change my name to Jace, the UFL guy. I love how it even shows it, how it shows your old message being Jace, the Ford guy, and then change to the UFL guy. That's actually pretty cool. I did not know that about YouTube. First and 10 for Cookus and the Stallions. 3 receivers to the right. Play action, pass to Deion Kane. It is caught for about an 8-yard gain. That's the best overall throw by Cookus all day. And they need to put up some points here. 18-6. If you don't score here and you give Houston the ball back, ooh, it could be rough. Remember, the largest comeback in UFL history is a 15-point comeback that happened a couple weeks ago between the Renegades and the Defenders. So, in theory, if BM doesn't score and Houston puts up another touchdown, gets a 2-point conversion, it might be over. Cookus rolls to the right, throws a deep pass. It is an overthrown pass that also goes too far in the sideline. Going to be 3rd and 2 for Birmingham. This is absolutely wild for Birmingham right here. Interviewing C.J. Johnson right now. So let's see what Houston can do. Can their defense do something? 18 points in the first quarter is the most in UFL history. This team went from the best offense in the league last year to putting up 18 points in the first quarter. Insane. 3 receivers to the right. They hand it off. It's going to be a first down. Person breaks a couple of tackles, and he gets tackled at about the 36-yard line. Really good run for him right there. Huge first down for Birmingham. 12 minutes and 40 seconds left in the half. Again, the ground attack for Birmingham has looked really solid. Again, there's been a couple of bad plays where they end up losing a couple yards, but overall it's been pretty solid. It's been the passing attack that hasn't been there. So we'll see if they do a few more passes. Try to get Cookus, going, but we'll see. 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ball is snapped. Fake the handoff. Quick throw to the right. It is not incomplete pass. Trade Ricky Person to the Browns in exchange for Aiden Robbins. Man, the running back. Dude, just seeing running back in San Antonio is so disappointing. That RB room has been so disappointing this year. We expected so much from it. Granted, we expected a lot from the Brahmas. I didn't even expect it. I expected a little bit from the Brahmas, and they haven't even done that. 2nd and 10 for the Stallions. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, motioning Maribel to the right. Ball is snapped, looks to his left to throw, looks to his right. He's going to scramble. He's going to run for it. He gets the first down and then gets tackled out at the 49-yard line. Again, Cookus looks to be pretty much back to what he used to be with his legs. Of course, last year, not as back. Of course, he was just coming off the injury from 2023. But this year, he's looked a lot better when he is running the ball. They definitely need to use that a bit more, especially with how the passing game has been going. If you can at least use like a double or a triple option with the 2 running backs, you can be pretty solid. Again, big first down rush for Cookus. 1st and 10. They're at their 48-yard line. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ball is snapped. Looks to his left. And he gets pressured, and he gets sacked. It's going to be about a 6-yard loss. Great pass rush by the Roughnecks. Huge sack, massive loss. Make him lose about 6 yards. Huge play for the Roughnecks defense. And this Roughnecks defense that was a great play by him. Look at that. They just completely engulfed that pocket. That was just good play by the defense. That's not really on Cookus too much. Not like he held the ball too long. He just got, his line got beat. Simple as that. Tayshawn Bauer getting the sack. Big sack for him right there. Houston, 10 sacks on the season. 2nd and 17 for the Stallions. They got 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. They're on 5 wide. Ball is snapped. Looks to his right. Gonna run up in the pocket, rolling to his right. He's gonna run for a few yards, and he throws it. That is definitely not gonna. Number one, that might not even be a catch. Number two, he definitely threw that ball while he was way past the line, and it is gonna be called incomplete. So even if it is a legal pass, it's still incomplete. But odds are that's probably gonna be a penalty, though. We'll see. Yep, calling it an illegal forward pass. So that will be a loss of down and a 5-yard penalty. So this will be 3rd and 22 for the Stallions. Definitely a bad one. And they're showing how Case got hit down. Again, if Cookus gets banged up and Jamar comes in, that means the Stallions will have played 5 quarterbacks this season just due to injury. So we'll see. Absolutely wild ending right there. Cookies is still in right now, but again, if he keeps getting a bit banged up, you can only take so much punishment at the quarterback position. Going to be in shotgun. There was no review. It was pretty clear. It was fully past the line of scrimmage. So this is going to be 3rd and 22 for the Stallions. They are down 12 points. Ball is snapped. They fake the handoff. Cookus drops back. Rolls up in the pocket. He's going to run for it. Gets to the 45, and he slides down at about the 46. Just gains some yards. Going to punt it now. So they're going to punt this away. The Roughnecks have a chance to get a monumental lead if they can get this. So we'll see what Houston can do here on their next offensive drive. Again, they got the pick six, which is insane. It's just wild. Wild, absolutely wild right now. Damon Arnett getting a pick six. It's still so wild after what he did in the NFL, or I should say what he didn't end up doing. It's just wild. After my team's loss against Michigan, love seeing Stallions down bad. It is wild to see this for sure. I mean, if the Roughnecks need this win because their last 3 games after this are Michigan, DC, Michigan. That is a horrid final 3 games for your team. Describe this game in 5 words or less. Houston is better than Birmingham. That's 5 words. That's what it is. I mean, Houston, they got the pick 6 against Case Cookus. Their first drive was, McLennan went 6 of 6 on his first drive, and they had Zaquandre White get a 50-plus yard touchdown. I mean, it doesn't get worse than that. It's insane. But there is a very real shot we could have the only 2 teams to win a spring football championship, and the Renegades and Stallions both missed the playoffs. Again, Houston needs this win because those final 3 games are going to be rough on them because Michigan is still trying to play for that number 1 seed in the UFL conference, and then DC could still be playing depending on how Arlington plays next week. So Houston needs this win. This is unironically their easiest game at the end of the season. I like to see Jamar. I agree. They need to put him in right there. Zaquandre White, the former Stallion. Man, the Stallions, the Maribel person combo was great last year, and it's still been decent for them today, but the team ain't looking too great. We'll see. It's still wild that Bill Belichick coaches UNC. Showing an ad right now, but it's still wild that they have that. Okay, so they were pulling the wrong thing there. What was your reaction to Vegas's game-winning goal against Edmonton? I was just like not laughing, but I'm like, dude, of course it's the Hart Trophy, one of the 2 Hart Trophy favorites that screwed over their own team. Like when you see the replay and you see that was nowhere near in, and Draisaitl accidentally hit it into his own net, it's just insane. Seriously, for those of you who don't watch hockey, the 2 Hart Trophy favorites, which are the MVP of the league, are Connor Hellebuyck, a goalie, and Leon Draisaitl, a forward. In the playoffs, Draisaitl has gone invisible in multiple games and just single-handedly cost his team the game against Vegas. Connor Hellebuyck has been pulled from the net 3 times. Those are your 2 Hart Trophy favorites. Insane. Give me 10 words to describe this game. What would be 10 words to describe this game aside from Houston is better than Birmingham? Houston is better than Birmingham. Cookus needs to be benched. I would say that's a good 10 words right there. Okay, Jake. Houston is not number one. Why am I not shocked he DM'd me that at all? Jace, was he really? I didn't know that. I don't remember him being there, but he might have been in year 1. But I don't think he was. No, I think he signed there for like a second, right? Yeah. No, he was not on the Breakers. Yeah, he was on the Stallions in 23, not on a team in 22, then the Stallions in 24. So 2nd and 10 for Houston. Let's see if they can get something here. McClendon is in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, RB to his right as well. Ball is snapped. Looks to his right. Deep pass by McClendon. Ooh, it was almost caught. That was a solid pass, but just wasn't able to get it. 3rd and 10. That would have been insane if they were able to get that. He slowed down a little bit. Yeah, that was a solid pass. Just wasn't able to get it, but it was a solid pass. 3rd and 10 now for the Roughnecks. Need to get something here. Let's see if they can do it. McClendon is in shotgun. 2 receivers to both sides of the ball. Running back to his right in the backfield with him. Ball is snapped. Looks to the middle of the field. Throws it over the middle. It is going to be caught for a 1st down. Big play. High jump catch required by Gibson, but was able to get it. Insane play right there. 1st down, Houston. Goes to the right, and it's going to be about a 5-yard gain for the Roughnecks on 1st down. Going to be about 2nd and 5. Insane drive so far for the Roughnecks. Looked like it might have been a 3 and out, but look at it now. 8 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game, in the half. 2nd and 6, going to call it a 4-yard gain. Let's see what Houston does here. They're about 20-ish yards away from a really good field goal position as well, so let's see if they can get there. 2 receivers on both sides of the ball. Running back to McClendon's right in the backfield with him. Ball is snapped. Fakes the handoff. Throws it to the right. It's a bit of a deeper pass. It is caught. Massive gain. Caught just shy of the 25-yard line. It's going to be about the 26, 27-yard line. Huge play for Jalen McClendon and the Roughnecks right there. Again, beautiful pass by McClendon. He is easily putting himself in that 3rd or 4th best QB again. He's kind of in a battle with Luis Perez for the 3rd best QB in the league right now. With throws like that, he can get up above Perez, though with how Perez plays, it's going to be hard to truly justify that. But still, great pass by McClendon right there. Houston 3 of 3 on 3rd downs. It's a stat you want to be good at, and it's insane. And this team just looking so good. You eliminate their week 1 performance, this Houston team is really solid this year. Definitely looking like they're going to move up in the power rankings again. Though there is going to be a timeout called by Houston, it looks like. Yep. So they do have the ball at the 26-yard line, so they are in field goal position already. Again, a field goal would put them up 21-6, which is a 15-point game, and that is a big deal because 15 is the largest comeback in UFL history, which is what the DC did to Arlington a couple weeks ago. So if you can get a touchdown here, though, and get above that, it'd be insane. If they don't choke. Ooh. Bro, Jake is such a homer for them. It's insane. A.K. Albertazino sat like right next to some of his family in that championship game. That was wild. There'll be 2 or 3. Depends on how St. Louis plays. Because I always view it that it's very hard to punish a team that plays well and wins. So, number 1, no matter what happens, is Michigan. Now, if St. Louis plays well enough against Memphis, I'll keep them at 2, and I'll move Houston up to 3. The fact is, DC's win, so many people glazed it. It was a great performance by Teamu. But the fact that that was Teamu's best performance of the season and it was still a close game is very concerning. So DC would move up to 4, Houston moves up to 3 or 2. So that's what I would say. Let's see. I will say, next week's game between Houston and Michigan is going to be a big deal. That's going to be a great game. Were you glad the Mars left the purple and orange brand? No. I really like the purple and orange. I know a lot of people wanted them to go to the purple or the black and gold, but I would have rather them stay with the purple and orange. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Let's see. Anything happening on the Twitter world? That's money. Okay. This is really insane. Like, I expected Houston to win, but man, if they can score a touchdown here, that'd be hilarious. Really. McLennan versus Perkins, the USL Championship. That's going to be hilarious. That happens. It's going to be hilarious in like a good way. That would be great to see. Bad Steelers ripoff. They came back purple and orange, be original. I love the purple and orange. I love that color combo. So we're back. Let's see what the Houston Roughnecks can do here. Getting there at the 26-yard line in field goal range. McLennan is in shotgun. 2 receivers to his right. Or 1 to his right, 3 to his left. RB to his left as well. Fakes the handoff. It's a QB hold. He runs to the right. He does get ankle tackled. It's going to be still about a 2-yard gain. So they at least get something, and they're in field goal range. But yeah. Oh, and Mahler's hard hat is black and yellow. It was still, I mean, with the helmet and like a true purple and orange jersey, that could go hard. 2nd and 8 for the Roughnecks. At the 19-yard line. McLennan is in shotgun, 1 man to his right, 3 receivers to his left, and 1 to his right. Let's see if they can get a touchdown here. Or a first down. Ball is snapped. They hand it off. And he gets the first down on the run up to about the 13-ish yard line. Huge gain on the ground for the Roughnecks, and that wasn't even Zaquandre White. Lingered with a massive run right there. Insane. I mean, this could be a real clinic. This is very much like the Michigan DC game, where Michigan proved that they didn't just beat bad teams. That's what Houston's doing. Hand it off. It's about a 3-yard gain on first down. We all got together for like one of the championships or something. Technically, it was called Renaissance Red, more towards red than orange in 84. Okay. Let's see how this game goes here. This is going to be, what, 2nd and 8 for the... Wow, 2nd and 8, they didn't give them too many yards. 2nd and 8 for the Roughnecks. They are at the 11-yard line. They can still get a first down, which is a big deal for them. They can try and eat up more of this clock. Because Birmingham does get the ball at the half, so that is something to keep note of. McLennan looks to the middle of the field, throws. It is a short pass that is caught, and it is a first down and a touchdown. They have broken the 15-point margin. It is 24-6. This means that if Birmingham wins, it would be the largest comeback in UFL history. So Houston, if they lose this game, might as well drop them to 8 in the power rankings. Not even joking. Huge, huge play by the Roughnecks right there. Insane. 24-6. So let's see if they can get an extra point. Again, they have failed on all 3 of their attempts so far. So let's see what they do here. 24-6. They are going for 1 again. So yeah, do I feel sorry for the Stallions? I would say feel sorry for the fans that showed up for this game watching this. Because, man, that's rough. You came to watch the Stallions and you're seeing them get destroyed like this. Oof. McLennan is in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. Ball is snapped. Looks to the left. It is incomplete. 0 of 4 is insane on extra point. But there's a flag. Let's go, dude. I know Mole's happy that Houston Roughnecks, oh man, it's looking good for them. 24-6. Calling pass interference to the defense. So now there'll be a play at the 1 yard line. If there's another defensive penalty, I believe that is an automatic score. So let's see if they can get this one. Yeah, you got 4 touchdowns, which is great. It's just wild that you're 0 for 4 on extra point attempts if you failed. So if you fail this, you're really 0 of 5, which would be hilarious. And this is at the 1 yard line because of the penalty. Lining up in shotgun, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Motioning the RB to the left as well. Ball is snapped. They fake the handoff. McLennan runs it and he gets it. It is 25-6 Houston over Birmingham. 1 point away from being a 20-point game. Absolutely insane game right now. Just wild. I mean, this is looking bad for Birmingham. All I say is I really don't know exactly where Birmingham goes in the power rankings. Like, I know where they're going. They're going below Arlington. That's where they're going if this keeps up. Wild right there. Let's see what Birmingham does in the return here. Return up to the 10, the 15, the 20. Cuts to the left. He goes to the 25, and he gets tackled at about the 25. Jordan in advance. I can't take the pain with my Renegades. I mean, if we're putting BM below my Renegades. Oh, they're going right below Birmingham. Pass is caught at the left about the 30, gets to about the 31-yard line. But this is absolutely... Yeah, belt to ass from Houston. That is for sure. This is an embarrassing game for Birmingham. 2nd and 5. Cook is in shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ball is snapped. Fake the handoff. They do hand it off. It's a late handoff. And he gets tackled for about a half-yard gain. Absolutely wild so far. 3rd down for the Stallions. They're getting close to 4-down territory already. Like, just because of the fact they need to. I mean, this is bad for them right now. This is, like, really rough. Three receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ball is snapped. Cookus looks to his left. He throws, and it is a bad pass, but it does get caught by a person, but it's still going to be 2 yards shy. Opening spread was 5.5 Birmingham. Like, was minus 5.5 Birmingham. Like, there's a reason I picked Houston to win outright. Insane. Birmingham was minus 5.5. Again, so many people just, they don't understand that, trends matter. Birmingham hadn't been looking too great the last few weeks. Houston, they looked a lot better. Picked Houston to win this game outright. And they ain't just going to win it outright. They might dominate this game. Seriously, 4th and 2 and you're punting, you should go for it here. I mean, you're already pretty much screwed. So, let's see. I mean, Houston has more than enough time to score again. They have 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. The way the clock works in 2 minutes, they've got all the time in the world they need. Ball is snapped. Punt is up. It is going to be returned initially at about the 13-yard line. Good punt. Returned to the 20. Gets tackled at the 20. Really solid punt there. It's bad when Houston can score 30 in the first half. Yeah, this could be bad. This could be a rough game for Birmingham. I mean, it already is a rough game for Birmingham. Birmingham basically already lost. Again, 15 is the largest comeback in UFL history. So, yeah. Panthers smoking that Renegades pack 100%. Ball is snapped. They fake the handoff. McClendon drops back. He gets pressured, and it's a big sack. It's a 10-yard sack for them right there. Massive, massive sack. That might be a bit more. It just didn't work out for the Roughnecks right there. Big loss. And my monitor's going. Let's go. I hate when it does this. Insane play, though, right there. McClendon just got taken back. Bad play to take. Second and 20 for them right now. Bad play for the Roughnecks. Hand the ball off. Gets tackled for about a 2-yard gain. Okay, so I gotta reset this real quick. Gotta reset my computer real quick. So we're just not turning off. Alright, we back. I'm so happy that this happened again. God, I don't know what's been going on the last couple of weeks, but we back, chat. Pull that back up there. Go over here. There we go. That looks good. So we back. Go over here, turn that off. Wow, okay. So, Houston does not get the first down there, but there was a flag. I didn't even get to check what that flag was, so we'll see in a second. At least I'll see, but wild. Encoding over. So, we're just lying. Move this down there. There we go. X that. Punt is up. It gets returned to about the 36-yard line for Birmingham. Did somebody say Giants? Okay. Just absolutely wild game. What we're getting in this game is just insane. Sharing their screen. Somebody's sharing the game. That's hilarious. Somebody's showing the game on BFN's chat. That's great. MG 25-26. Yep, Houston scored again, and they got the extra point this time. Wild stuff in this game in Birmingham right now. Absolutely insane. Cook's throws directly over to the left. It's going to be caught. Best throw of the day right there. Caught just shy of the 50-yard line. Again, Birmingham has to score here. Again, if they can score here, they get the ball at half. They can get it closer. But again, we are 19 points. This would be the largest comeback in UFL history if they pull this off. So, yeah. McHimden. Yeah, MV Clendon, maybe? I mean, he's looking really good so far. Wow. Shocked they didn't get that off in time. So we are at the 2-minute warning now. Just a wild, wild thing that we're watching today. That's for sure. MV Perkins, true. Perkins, I mean, he really solidified that MVP with that last second drive he had. That pretty much solidified MVP for him. That's for sure. Like, it's pretty hard to look at what he did and be like, oh yeah, he's not MVP now. But, give credit where it's due. Teamo had a great game. It was his first truly great game all year. Like all things considered, great game. But too little, too late. So we'll see how it goes. What the hell, hello everyone. 25-6, Houston Roughnecks. It's up 3-1-4 J-Rock. I mean, it's insane. It really is insane how this game is going. But yeah, it's just... The Roughnecks they're dominating. I mean, it's insane what they're doing right now. They're just thoroughly the better team in this game. That's pretty much what it comes down to. They're just playing so much better than Birmingham is. And it's just, I mean, it's wild. But their defense got a pick six. Their offense is just dominating. They had a couple of good drives and that one huge white touchdown run. It's insane, but it's kind of, one of those things where it is what it is right now. So, yikes for the Stallions, but hey, if you're a Roughnecks fan, it's good for you. So strange, the Stallions have been going through QBs like Spinal Tap went through drummers. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see JMR come in, whether that is to be, just relief quarterback or because of Cookus being banged up. But I mean, they're one QB away from playing 5 quarterbacks on the year, which playing 5 quarterbacks in a 10-game season is insane. So, we'll see. But again, this game, I know we talk about it a lot, but for Houston, it is such an important matchup to win because you have Michigan twice. If you go 1-1 against Michigan, you're probably going to make the playoffs, but there's a chance they go 0-2, and if they do, it's going to hurt. So if they win this game, it's going to help them out a lot, considering who Birmingham has left, because Birmingham's, of course, their last 3 games is a much easier schedule. It's still not easy. Their last 3 is at St. Louis, Michigan, and Memphis, but I think that that's a lot better than Michigan twice in D.C. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, this is going to be a good week, end of the year for the USFL Conference. The XFL Conference is pretty much over at this point. Like, it's not officially over, but with how Arlington took the L, if St. Louis gets the W today, it's going to be really hard for Arlington to make it back to the playoffs. But for the USFL side, when Houston wins this game, that's going to be a good battle for those playoff spots in the USFL. Because again, with Houston playing Michigan twice, Michigan's not even guaranteed. Because if they go 0-2 against Houston, they drop 2 more losses. They play Birmingham, they lose that rematch. They could go 0-3 to end the season. If you go 0-3 to end the season, it's possible both Birmingham and Houston jump you. So it'll be wild. First and 10 for the Stallions. Cooks gets the snap. Throws over the middle of the field. It's going to be incomplete. Tried to throw it to Deion Kane, just wasn't able to get it. So going to be 2nd and 10 for the Stallions with 1 minute and 57 seconds left. They do get the ball at half, so they do have that going for them, so we'll see if they can get that. Let's see what the Stallions can do here. And clock stops after first down, so the chains are moved. So they do have a lot of time left, but they're already, close to field goal range. They need to at least get some points on the board. Yeah. Power went out in my area. Damn, that sucks to hear. That happened to me like a week or 2 ago. It is a caught pass. Jordan Thomas with a huge grab. It's going to be at the 23-yard line. The Roughnecks are winning 25-6 right now. It is insane. Though the Stallions are driving and they are within 25 yards of getting in the end zone, but it is still 25-6 with under 2 minutes left in the half. First and 10 for the Stallions. Cookus is by himself in the backfield. They're in 5 wide, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Ball is snapped. Cookus looks to the right. Quick throws. It is caught. He gets tackled immediately. The screen did not work whatsoever. So, 2nd down and 10 for the Stallions. Just a rough game for the Stallions right now. Need to get the score right here. So let's see if they can pull it off here. Once again in 5 wide. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball is snapped. Cookus looks to the left. Rolls up in the pocket. Throws deep in the middle. Going for the end zone shot. But it is to basically no one. Just another inaccurate pass by Cookus. 3rd and 10 for the Stallions. Again, if you're Skip Holtz, you're having to wonder what do you want to do here. Because if you kick the field goal, yes, you get 3 more points. But you're still down 16. Now, being down 16 is 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions. So you probably do take the field goal. But you could also try and play to make it a 4th and manageable. Go for a shorter pass that you might be able to get like, let's say, a 4th and 3 going on. Maybe go for it. We'll see. They do get the ball at half, so if they do score a field goal here and a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, it's back to being an 8-point game. So let's see what they do here in 5 wide again. Cookus drops back, gets pressured. He gets hit, but he throws it. It's intercepted in the end zone, but there is a flag. This flag could be big. If this is an offensive flag, this is going to be huge, but let's see. Let's see what this flag is. Calling a penalty, illegal contact on the defense. So it'll be an automatic 1st down, no penalty. But of course, Curtis Johnson could try and challenge this if he wants to. So we'll see. I think it was supposed to be for the guy in the middle of the field, but yeah. Shocked they're not showing a replay of this one. But CJ doesn't look to be challenging it yet, so it looks like it was a good penalty, but we'll see. Showing the replay now. Houston might be debating on throwing a challenge flag here. Injury timeout, though. Maybe not, but insane. I mean, if that would have actually stood, that would have been insane. If that would have been an interception that stood, oh my goodness. What a game. CJ's the only active head coach to beat Birmingham Lamau. True. It is hilarious how true that is, though. Damn, BM is getting cooked. It is pretty wild. Brown's basically out. They won't put Mond in, but yeah, the game's crazy. Yeah, Houston did challenge this, by the way. Yep, this is going to stand. CJ failing his first super challenge. What a classic. That's such a classic right there. So they lose 2 timeouts because of failing a challenge and the injury timeout. So huge for CJ. Yeah, Curtis Johnson throwing those challenge flags like they're candy. I mean, he just goes for it every time, even when it's like clearly not going to work. It's absolutely wild. Minute and 1 second left for the Stallions. They're in 5 wide again. Cookus drops back. Quick pass over the middle. It is going to be caught by Jay Sternberger for about an 8.5-yard gain. And we've got 2nd and 1. Now, if you're Birmingham, you do want to do this a bit slow because, yes, Houston's out of timeouts, but with the clock stopping on 1st downs, you don't want to use too much time. Or you don't want to leave too much time. Let me rephrase that. Another player down for the Roughnecks. But again, Birmingham getting the ball at half is a big deal because if they do get a touchdown here, they go for 2. You have to go for 2. You cannot go for 1. If you go for 1, you're basically throwing in the towel. If you're Birmingham and you score a touchdown, you have to go for 2. If you go for 2, it makes it an 11-point game, which means it's another touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal away from being tied. Meaning that if you get a touchdown here, get the 2-point, succeed in your first drive in the second half, you could be down 3 points, which would be huge for them, but we'll see. 2nd and 2 for the Stallions. Again, you want to score with less than 20-ish seconds left. Do not want to give Houston even a shot at scoring a field goal. So we'll see how much time they use. We'll see what Birmingham calls here. Again, Birmingham could run the ball here. It's 2nd and 2. You still have 2 timeouts. Shakhtar's still going 5 wide. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Ball is snapped. Cookus looks to his right. Throws it for the end zone shot. It is incomplete. Really not a fan of this play calling by Skip right there. You should have had a running back in the backfield with Cookus. You have 2 timeouts, the first down stopping the clock, and just overall a lot of time. The fact that you're continuing to this 5 wide is a really just bad decision by Skip. If they fail to score a touchdown here, could be said that it's on Skip because that is some bad play calling. Let's see what they do here. And you can still run it here. You can try to run this for a first down. Nope, they're going 5 wide again. I wouldn't be against the QB draw here. Cookus drops back, looks to his left. He's trying to run it, but he overall ends up throwing it. Is incomplete. Could have been intercepted if a DB was somewhere else. Again, that's on Skip. That is terrible play calling 101. You have 40 seconds left. Not 1, but 2 timeouts left. You're on 2nd and 2. Why are you doing every play out of 5 wide? That is just bad coaching by Skip. They're going to go for it. If you're going to do a play with a running back in the backfield, I would do play action here. Because if you're Houston, you're probably expecting them to run it here because they do have a running back to the left. I would do a play action pass here. Let's see what they do here. Ball is snapped. They do run it. They do get the first down, so good play for Birmingham. Made up for that. They should have done that a couple plays earlier, but they still got it. 32 seconds left. Don't call a timeout here in 1st and goal. Don't call a timeout. Let the clock wind down a little bit. Then do a play. Yep, they're going to do exactly that. They're going to just do a play, not wind the clock down, or they're going to not call timeout. Good decision. Ball is snapped. Cooks looks to his right. Rolling to his right. He's going to throw it, and it is an incomplete pass. Good decision. Just throw it away. That was a good pass by Cookus. So 2nd and goal, 20 seconds left. Again, this is a very good situation. You need to score some points before the end of the half. You got 2 timeouts left, and you're made it to the point now where Houston has no realistic shot of getting a field goal. So you did your job in utilizing the clock correctly and eating a lot of time. But you still got to put some points on the board. You went for it in 4th down, so you need to get a touchdown here. It makes it pretty much not worth it. At the 7-yard line. Again, you can still run it. You got 2 timeouts left. So you could still run this ball if you want to. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, running back to the right of Cookus. Ball is snapped. He's going to look to his left to throw. He rolls up in the pocket. He gets hit as he throws and throws it down. Incomplete pass. 3rd and goal. BM might be frauds. Yeah, if this score holds up even somewhat, Birmingham is dropping to 6 in the power rankings, potentially 7 if Memphis pulls off the upset. Again, I'm really not a fan of this play calling right now by Birmingham. The fact that they haven't been running the ball almost at all is insane. They have had so much time and so many timeouts. Again, 2 timeouts is a lot in this scenario. To run the ball. The fact they're not is just terrible. And making my eye twitch. At least Stallions are doing well on that. Yeah, Panthers was really weird how they were doing it. I gotta tweet this. I mean, Birmingham, if they don't score here or they only kick a field goal, Birmingham's play calling this drive has been awful. I mean, seriously, like, I don't know if Skip realizes how much time he's had and how many timeouts he had. Like, he just used one there you really shouldn't have used. You've still got more than enough time and timeouts to run the ball. Instead, now you're at 3rd and goal. Now it depends on, are you kicking it? Are you going for a touchdown with 2 plays, or are you willing to kick a field goal to just make it a 16-point game? Let's see. They're in 5 wide. Again, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Cooks is in the backfield by himself. Need a touchdown here. Ball is snapped. Cooks looks to his left. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. There is a flag. This is going to be DPI, though. Big bailout for Birmingham. Yep, defensive pass interference. So it's going to be a 1-yard play right there. That's insane. Just wild. Seriously, Birmingham, they get a touchdown here because of that. It's insane because that would they get bailed out. So let's see what they do here. First and goal at the 1-yard line. Again, you could do a quick play action pass here. If that fails, then run it on second down, then kick a field goal on third down. Ball is snapped. They do hand it off. Oh my god, what a terrible play call. Hand it off, and it is going to be a 6-yard loss. Dude, this play calling by Birmingham has been ass. I mean, seriously. This is, like, inexcusable what they're doing here. I'd rather have a team lose with bad plays and bad clock management. Maybe controversial take, maybe I'll feel different. Depends on how bad the plays are, because the way Birmingham has handled this end of drive is terrible. Because they handled the clock well, but then they just made so many bad plays. Because it's like, I mean, like, these are inexcusable. Skip Holtz is a 3-time Spring Football League champion. He should know better than I do, but this drive, I've known better than him. You had 2 timeouts left at a 2nd and 2 with like 30-ish seconds left. You could run the ball like 4 times if you do it correctly. The fact that he's doing play after play after play in 5 wide is inexcusable. Like, this is so aggravating to watch because it's like the guys watching at home shouldn't know better, but this is a case where I know better. If they get a touchdown here, it's because they got bailed out by Houston getting a DPI, not because they played well. They're in 5 wide again. Ball is snapped. Cookus looks to his left, throws it over the middle. It's caught for a touchdown. They got bailed out by the DPI. It is a touchdown. It is 25-12, but man, that was a horrible way of getting there. That Houston DB really bailed him out with that DPI. So it is 25-12. That was such a horrid just few plays for them right there. So they're going for 2. Again, that's the correct decision. You have to go for 2 here. Make this into a 11-point game. 5 wide again. Cookus is in shotgun. Throw over the middle, and it is incomplete. Just another bad throw. 25-12 heading into half. Just wild. Man, that's such an aggravating thing to watch. That was so bad. They got the touchdown. They got bailed out by the DPI. But overall, man, that was one of the roughest drives I've seen in a while. That reminded me of that Arlington-Birmingham game from a few weeks ago. That was how bad that was. But again, Houston heading into half is going to have the 25-12 lead. So they've still got a massive 13-point lead. Birmingham does get the ball at half, so they could potentially bring this up to a 10-point game or a 5-point game if they score a touchdown and get a 2-point. But because they stopped them on the 2-point conversion, that is huge. So we'll see. Kickoff is up. Again, only 3 seconds left, so this will just be a return. Return to the 10, and he's just going to kneel it. So we are heading into half 25-12. Houston looking good. I can't believe it. It's wild. Wild. I mean, seriously, that was such a bad drive for them. That was so bad. The fact they got a touchdown, insane. Let's see what's going on in the Twitter world. People just talking about how bad Birmingham's looking. It's insane. I mean, this is domination so far. It's insane. That last drive by Birmingham, man, like, they got bailed out by the DPI because that was really rough. That was such a terrible drive. That's bad coaching right there, but hey, they got the touchdown thanks to the DPI and all that. Though it's still 25-12, so we'll see. Can't win every game 10-9. Okay, skip. Don't gotta say the quiet part out loud there. All those fans wanting high fives. Ain't nobody. Oh, one game. They got 3 high fives. Wow, that's so sad to see. Halftime coverage, they should say. As long as I'm not stuck watching the same DC Defenders halftime show where they talk about the beer snake for 15 minutes, I'm fine. You know what I mean? Just wild. Trying to see what's going on over here. Audio probably collapsed. Just wild. This is a game. Let's look at the halftime stats while we're in this little halftime show. So Houston, McClendon is still he's still 7 of 7 for 61 yards versus Cookus is 2 of 4 for 40. Okay, is this not even updated? It's not updated. Okay, so UFL site, you need to fix this. Dude, this is why the UFL site sucks so much. Like, it only has the first quarter stats. I was like, hold up, something's not right here. So let's go over here. Stallions, Roughnecks. That's not what I wanted. Stallions versus Roughnecks. Go over there. Not that. Click the wrong thing again. Stallions versus Roughnecks. There we go. Pulling it up here. So far, McClendon is 12 of 14 for 125, 1 touchdown for a 127.7 rating. Their ground game as a team is 9 rushes for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns, which obviously has the 52-yard long. As for the Stallions, Cookus is 10 of 20 for 84 yards, 1-1, so much better by McClendon. Ground attack is overall more consistent, 17 carries for 86 yards with a couple of 10-plus yard rushes, but overall, pretty clear-cut one team is better. A theme song or now about automatically makes number 1 in the power. Okay. So we're talking about this. I will say, though, for power rankings, Birmingham, they going down. If they do end up losing this game, which I think we all expect them to, they're going down the power rankings, that's for sure. Like, I find it pretty hard to keep them anywhere decent, honestly, if they lose this game. You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to say? That they're a good team? If they lose this game by, like, 10, which is what it looks like, they're going to move probably to 6. With the potential to move down to 7 if Memphis wins. So if Memphis gets the upset, I mean, it's pretty hard to not keep them like that, but we'll see. You know what I mean? I know Birmingham was the favorite, like, heading into this week, which is hilarious that they were still the favorite. Like, that was insane that they were still the favorite to win. But they definitely should be dropping a lot now. That's for sure. Justin Tucker getting cut. Absolutely wild. Let's go to DraftKings on here. Let's see what the odds are currently on DraftKings. So the okay, so we have TD scores. Okay, we got a lot of random stuff. That's not what I wanted. Where's futures? Bruh, that's not what I want. Currently, the Roughnecks are 8.5-point favorites, so that's hilarious. Quarters. Are you seriously not allowed to bet on that right now? That's wild. Okay, so we're just having a laugh. I believe that the Stallions were favorites, though, but I can't find it right now. UFL futures. Yeah, can't bet on any of that right now. So, can't check right now. Is what it is. I remember Birmingham still has St. Louis another against Michigan, right? Yeah. I mean, granted, Houston has an even worse schedule. Houston has to play Michigan twice and DC, but Birmingham has those two tough games. They do end the season with Memphis, so it's a bit easier, but Houston has the really tough schedule. Like, essentially, if you're a Michigan fan, you want Birmingham to win, because if Birmingham gets the W, it makes it really tough for Houston to make the playoffs. But Houston winning is going to really hurt Michigan's chances. Yeah, I'm going to say right now Michigan is winning it all this year despite injuries. They're the most complete team in the league and actually plays at a high level. Yeah, I know they got Houston homers who want to say the Roughnecks are the best. I hope Jake's in here. But the fact is Michigan, I mean, that win yesterday, they played their worst football since the Stallions game, and they still pulled off the W. I mean, they had two awful fumbles and still got the W, which is insane. But yeah, the USFL conference is going to be very fun. The XFL conference, if St. Louis wins, not really. It's basically a lock for DC St. Louis. I know Arlington still has a shot, but at that point, it's pretty tough. But with the USFL conference, if Houston pulls this one off, literally any combination of the three can make it, because of the fact that you have Birmingham playing Michigan and Michigan playing Houston twice. So it is very real that Michigan could go 0-3 to end the season, which would then obviously change everything because then they drop to 5-2, which would then put both Birmingham and Houston at 5-5. But both Houston and Birmingham could also lose to their respective opponents, to where if that were to happen, Michigan would miss the playoffs. So it's wild how this could happen, how it could all shake up, but it's going to be something. That's what I would say. If St. Louis blows up Memphis, we can have a conversation. In Week 6, there are 2 games winning. Both are on Fox. I don't know why they do that. Yeah, it's all because that whole... They probably couldn't get a certain schedule thing doing the regional broadcast. At least it's not 3 like last year, though. When the league does expand, do expect more of those. We're definitely getting more of those. Probably one every week, honestly. But yeah, I was waiting. I always forgot when that one was. But yeah, Week 8. You've got the Panthers, Roughnecks, Stallions, Battlehawks, which all of a sudden really sucks to see. Because now it's like those are the 2 games people want to see that week. Like when you look at that week, those are the 2 biggest matchups. Yes, DC Arlington is a big deal, but Michigan versus St. Louis, those are going to be big. Though we do have a tank bowl next week on Friday Night Football. We have a tank bowl between the Showboats and the Brahmas. Even if Memphis wins, that is a tank bowl, so we've got our second tank bowl of the season coming up next week, and I believe that is the last real tank bowl we have, because obviously Houston's no longer in the tank bowl conversation. So be on the lookout for that on Friday. That's going to be a fun one. Favorite to win the title entering today. So now it's Michigan at -185. This is from ESPN Bet. So Michigan is the favorite, followed by Birmingham. But they're going to drop a lot after today, that's for sure. Yeah, it is hilarious that they might not make the playoffs. That is so true. Because if they lose this game, it's very possible they miss it. Just a wild game. Aaron is no longer yapping, bro. 8 new posts. I love when I just repost things and they tell me new posts. Like, bro, come on. The league needs Birmingham to miss. True, because if Birmingham makes the playoffs, you just have that. We all know that they're just going to somehow, some way manage to make it to the championship game. So it would be good for them and Arlington to both miss so that you have a new champion. Because, yes, UFL-wise, only Birmingham's won, but when you talk about the teams in the league, right, Arlington and Birmingham have won. So if neither of them make the playoffs, you will have a true new champion. So, yeah. It would hurt since I picked Arlington to win it all, but it's looking like the XFL conference is pretty set, barring St. Louis loses. Because right now, right, if St. Louis wins today, they're at 5-2. Arlington's at 3-4. Arlington's schedule is DC, Memphis, San Antonio. So if they pull off the upset against DC, they could legit go 3-0 to end the season, which would be big for them. As for St. Louis, their last 3 games, well, obviously they have the Birmingham matchup. They have Birmingham, Brahmas, and at DC. So if both teams, let's say, beat DC, that's 1 win apiece for them. Saying that St. Louis wins today, that puts them at 6-2. That puts Arlington at 4-4. So then you'd have to have Arlington go 2-0 and St. Louis go 0-2 in those matchups, and then Arlington would win. So Arlington needs to basically win out, really, to have a really good shot to make it. So we'll see if they can do it. McLennan is bringing the Houston team back to look like the 2020 version. Yeah, I mean, McLennan is just such an accurate passer. I'm so glad people are seeing what I've been saying for the past, 2 years, that this guy's been super underrated. I just love seeing him get his shot and dominating for sure. And he's been playing incredible today. UFL having new championship fee countries, it really will be great for sure. And St. Louis is the only XFL team that hasn't at least made a league championship. So in St. Louis versus Michigan championship would be 2 new teams. I like DC, but I want St. Louis just the crowd size. St. Louis versus Michigan, I think, is what I would say. If you eliminate what your favorite team is, I think 90% of people would say that's the matchup they want to see. Both games they've played have been insanely tight, close matchups that were completely different styles. You had the higher scoring game this year. You had the super low scoring battle last year. Both close games. When you consider crowd size versus crowd growth, arguably the 2 best fan bases in the league when it comes to home crowd stuff, when you consider the fact that Michigan keeps going up and St. Louis, their bad days are better than everybody else's good days, or great days, I should say, you know what I mean? So that would be a great matchup for sure. Going to the Stallions versus Battlehawks game next week. Hope Birmingham plays like this next week. I hope we have a good time there. That's going to be a fun one for sure. I mean, last year's game was incredible. Hopefully this one matches up to it. We'll see. It's 2 teams that are pretty inconsistent, so that could be a very fun one. St. Louis in the championship would make it look like an actual championship game on TV. Facts. And they hate each other. Makes it even better. I mean, hey, when you talk about cross rivalries, cross-conference rivalries, arguably the biggest one right there. For sure. 2026 UFL Championship Showboats versus Brahmas and Audi Field. It would be cool if they go to Audi Field. I know there's some rumors about how St. Louis just has a really good stadium deal or something, but it would be cool to see the championship game go to Audi Field. Current ESPN bet odds, you have Michigan. Wow. Okay, San Antonio not even there. Memphis, Houston, Arlington, DC, St. Louis, Birmingham. I don't think that's truly correct, honestly. Let me go back real quick. So I accidentally deleted or got rid of the wrong tab. 2025 UFL season standings. Okay, so you didn't put me in standings. St. Louis loses today. They drop to 4, so then they could go up 4. San Antonio, they still have them, so that means they could win that game. They could go that one, so they go 2-0. So they win 2 games. That puts them at 3-3. St. Louis loses out. That puts them at... Yeah, so ESPN bet is wrong. I'm making sure I didn't say something wrong. San Antonio is still in the playoff contention right now. So ESPN bet just not having San Antonio means that they just have insane odds, but they're still able to make the playoffs right now. So, I don't know why they didn't show that. Because I know the game just came back on, but St. Louis, right, if both teams win out / lose out, they will finish the season at 4-6 each with a 3-3 divisional record, conference record. Actually, if St. Louis loses out and San Antonio wins out, yeah, that is wrong. San Antonio has a very real shot at the playoffs. If they win out and St. Louis loses out, San Antonio gets tiebreaker due to conference record. So ESPN bet was wrong for not showing them. They are still eliminated. Yes, if the Battlehawks win, they are eliminated. But ESPN bet did not show them on the odds right there, which usually says they're eliminated. They are not eliminated. Their odds are just really low to make it. 1st and 10 for the Stallions after the big gain on first down. They hand it off, and they are down about the 23-yard line, and they are already in field goal range, so they could easily make this a close game. I think the league definitely wants St. Louis in the championship because the crowd size for sure, especially with how bad it looked last year. It'll be my first pro game since the Browns-Cowboys. Wow, that's insane. I know I've only been to the USFL and UFL championships. Those are my only... Well, and I went to the Colts-Giants game last year. Those are the only pro games I've been to. 2nd and 10, they're in 5 wide again. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Cook is quick throws, but it gets tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete pass. Yeah, can't believe they didn't show San Antonio's odds. Their odds must be like something insane. They should be in there, so yeah. Third and 10 for the Stallions. Cook is in shotgun, one man to his right in the backfield. Looks to the middle of the field, looks to the left. He's going to throw it. It's going to be caught for a first down. So first and goal for the Stallions. Again, they get a touchdown here and a 2-point conversion. It's a 5-point game. Which, man, that would be really bad for Houston if they blow this. First and goal, let's see what Birmingham can do here. 2 receivers on both sides of the ball. They do hand it off to Maribel, who gets a hole but gets tackled at about a 3-yard gain with forward progress. So first and goal now for them, or should be second and goal. They're reviewing something here though. Oh, the whistles did blow. It's going to be an incomplete pass, so bad break for Birmingham. So they did get the whistles off before the play happened, so they're going back to the catch, ruling that an incompletion, meaning it's going to be 4th and 10, meaning Birmingham's going to kick a field goal. Now, kicking a field goal here isn't necessarily great for them because it still is a 2-score game, but obviously it makes it a closer 2-score game than it would be. So you got to take the points if you can get the points. Incredibly quick first drive to get into field goal range. You take those points. 4th and 10, they got to kick the field goal here. Yep. Bring out the thicker kicker to try and get this to being a closer 10-point game. Again, still a 2-score game, but much closer 2-score game. Fourth and 10 for the Stallions. Gonna kick this one. Mevis is currently 12-13. Been a pretty underrated kicker this year, mainly because Hot Rod hasn't missed a kick, but Mevis has been a very solid kicker. Again, only missed 1 kick this season, 12-13. Make that 13-14, so it is good. It is 25-20 or to 15. So it is a 10-point game right now, Houston-Birmingham. Houston's gonna pull on Arlington. Surely not. Surely they don't blow it. Showing the 61-yard kick Mevis made back in college. SEC record kick. Running on this field, that's insane. That's wild. I love to see that. Yeah, I mean, dude, if Houston blows this game, I mean, I was joking with somebody on DMs. If they lose this game, you can justify putting them at 8 in power rankings. So let's see what the Houston Roughnecks can do in this drive. Again, they need to put up some points, keep this, whole score going, keep showing this illusion of domination. Need to get another score. Even just a field goal obviously puts you back at a really sizable lead of 13 points. So we'll see if they can get it. Because again, if you kick a field goal and then get another field goal, even if Birmingham gets a couple of touchdowns, you can still be tied/winning. So field goals are totally fine if you're Houston. You want a touchdown, but a field goal will do it. Would be an all-time CJ moment if they dude, if they blow this, this will be the classic Curtis Johnson moment. He would deserve to be fired on the spot. Kick is up. Oh. It is up. Recovered about the 5-yard line. Gets to the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30. The 35, and he gets tackled at about the 40-yard line. Big return. Dion and Bo, classic 2-sport athletes right there. Really is wild how today's day and age with sports acts like you can't play 2 sports at once. There's definitely guys who still could if they wanted to, but with how it is. Like Travis Hunter, if he actually does play both sides of the field, will be insane. Might be a chance that Birmingham might be able to play Magoo back in a week or 2. I really wonder if they're going to. I mean, granted, because it's like, do you want to risk him get hurt again? He looked pretty bad the 1 week he played. Was it just a rust? It's going to be very interesting if he does come back healthy, especially because how injured this team is, but yeah. Yeah, I think somebody could. I mean, like, you have guys like Kyler Murray who were legit drafted to the MLB, and it's like, you should be able to. Run is up to the right. It's going to be tackled for about a 4-yard gain. I mean, everybody talks about how much better today's athletes are than the past athletes, which is borderline, not true. But the point is, it's like, these guys, in theory, should still be able to do it when it comes to MLB and NFL. Yeah, I really hate that argument. People say athletes today are better than the past. Like, dude, athletes in the past were able to play 82-game NBA seasons easily. Athletes today missed, like, 20 games for load management. Like, 2nd and 6 for the Roughnecks. Ball is snapped. They look in middle field, look to the right. Quick throw is going to be incomplete. Bad drop. Was a bit of a low pass, but it was still a drop by the receiver right there. Going to be 3rd and 6 for the Roughnecks. Yeah, I mean, in theory, these athletes today should be able to play 2 sports like they did in the past, but I agree. Athletes today, yeah, I mean, like, when I think of how players play today compared to in the past, it's like, dude, so many guys in the past would play through all these injuries. Guys today, it's like, dude, they just feel a bit tired, like, I can't play today. 3rd and 6 for the Roughnecks. Jalen is in shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball is snapped. He rushes up the middle. He breaks a tackle. He does a spin move, but he gets tackled for a 2-yard gain. They're going to be forced to punt this on 4th and 6. Or 4th and 4. NBA is such a great example. Hockey players are the only ones that have remained like they always have. Like, there's a reason why when a hockey player gets a concussion, they're out for like 3 months because it's a bad concussion. Every other sport, especially basketball, like, whenever they started the load management thing with Kawhi Leonard was when it got really soft. Like, Mikal Bridges being like the only player to consistently play 82 games a season is embarrassing for the league. There's no excuse to not play a minimum of 70 games a season. Putt is up, is going to be recovered, unless you get like a legit injury. Recovered at the 10-yard line, up to the 15, the 20. Gets tackled at about the 23-yard line. Around here, it's pure BAM hate. Okay. Last real icon. No, LeBron is the current icon, but after him, yeah. There's no icon in waiting for the NBA right now, because, like, everybody keeps saying, is it Luka? Is it Nikola? Is it Shea? And it's, like, not really any of them right now. Because the ones that talent-wise should be don't have the personal or the personality. Like, in theory, Jokic should be the next icon, but he doesn't have that personality or, like, charisma to be an icon, despite the fact that he is clearly the best player in the league right now and has been for, like, 4 years. But he just doesn't have it. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the it factor. Now, you got to give LeBron his credit. He is the icon of this era. The fact is that he is a top 3 all-time NBA player. It's just, you know, yeah, the personality factor with Jokic is what really hurts him. Because, like, Jokic, he is making people who questioned Wilt Chamberlain's numbers legitimacy believe. Like, when Jokic is breaking Wilt Chamberlain records and numbers, you're like, damn, that's insane. But it's like, you see the interviews, and he's just this, like, super laid-back guy who just doesn't have the, like, it factor in being a true icon in that sense. Like, if he had a different personality, you'd have people trying to push a narrative of where he's a top 10 player. But because he doesn't, it's like people are just like, oh, he's Jokic. Like, it's wild. It's wild how it works out, but yeah. No Duncan. I will say, Tim Duncan is, I think, the most underrated player in NBA history. So many people act like he's not a top 10 all-time player when it's like, dude, Tim Duncan was insane. He was a great player. Easily top 10, borderline top 5 all-time player. And the fact that people act like he isn't is insane to me. That's what I would say. I still love how they keep using all these ads from last year, and you can tell it's from last year because they got the U.S. Army patch on them. I will say, the NBA top 10 stuff is going to be a tough... It's getting tougher for that 10th spot with all these guys now, but yeah. Dirk, best foreign player. I would say second best. I would say Hakeem 1 and Dirk 2, but those two is a pretty damn good debate. That's what I would say. That's a close one right there. Like, it depends exactly what you call it. Like, Hakeem, you know, was born in, like, Nigeria, but he's an American, so it depends how you view that. If you view him as, like, not American, it's Hakeem. If you view him as American, it's Dirk. Because after Dirk, it's like, who? I know, well, Jokic could. When he finishes, Jokic could be higher. I will say that. Jokic, when he finishes his career, could be higher. First and ball is snapped, handed off, rush up the middle. Gets about 2 yards on the ground, tackled for a 2-yard gain to be 2nd and 8. Because, like, people who act like Dirk didn't win enough awards or championships forget that, like, Mark Cuban wasn't a great owner for the Mavericks. Like, Steve Nash was so good with that team. Like, he wasn't, like, what he was with the Suns, but he was becoming that. And they just, like, got rid of him for no reason. That championship team was so weak, yet they somehow still pulled it off. Like, Dirk got kind of screwed over by Cuban. 2nd and 7, ball is snapped. Quick throw to the left. It is going to be incomplete pass. Not an incredible pass. There was guys in the way. Jordan, Magic, Bird, Kobe, Kareem, Duncan, Wilt, Bill Russell, Shaq, Jerry West. Love the Jerry West love, but my top 10 would definitely be... Oh, okay, no order. Yeah, I can see that. Though I will say, to me, the top 3... I personally think Jordan is number 1, and I don't really see an argument against it. But my top 3, 2 and 3 in no order, would be LeBron and Kareem. LeBron's longevity, like, there's longevity and there's what LeBron's doing. Like, there's not going to be an NBA player that does what he's doing. The fact that he dragged that god-awful Cavaliers team to the finals back in 2008 is insane. Little pitch play by Cookus, but there is a flag. Runs up to about the 45, but there is a penalty. Let's see what that penalty is. All right, my cat wants to leave the room. I'll be back in like 1 second. Goodbye, pretty. Result of play is a first down. But I would have Duncan. I would have Duncan in my top 10 for sure. Kobe, yeah. Bill Russell, yeah. Chamberlain, I'd have him there. For me, it's like the 8 to the 10 spot are the closer ones, but 1st and 10 for the Stallions. Cook is in shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ball is snapped, handed off, gets to the 50, gets to the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, gets tackled out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. I'm glad you were knowledgeable in a lot of sports. I hear so many people on basketball, best player debate, they go off on the rail sometimes. Like, I think when it comes to basketball especially is the cultural impact of it. Because you'll have people, like, I knew somebody who viewed that Wilt was not even, like, a top 20 player because he played against plumbers. And it's like, dude, there's a reason why Wilt's stats haven't been done till Jokic. Pass thrown to the left, it is caught, but it's incomplete, it did not make the catch fully. Hate to see that. Because the top 10 in the NBA is so difficult because of the fact that like, 10th, 9th spot, especially in recent years, has gotten a lot closer. Because the top 10 number, like, the top 7-ish are pretty set in stone. But then once you get to, like, 8 to 10, it's just so much tougher. Pass thrown over the middle. It is incomplete. Could have been intercepted. Don't even know who that was to. That was to Sternberger or Kane. Weak pass. Roughnecks can't stop the run. Yeah, that's another good point. The fact that those old NBA players actually played every day was a big deal. Like that's the biggest issue for some of the guys in today's time. Like, it's going to be really hard to justify calling some of these, like, new players, like guys drafted post-2017, all-time greats when you're only playing, like, 60-ish games a year, compared to guys like Jordan, like Dirk, like Duncan, who played almost every night. 3rd and 10, drop back, throws it over the middle, is going to be caught, tackled it at the 4-yard line, but the ball is out, but that is going to be down by contact, 4-yard line right there. Okay, now that's a stretch right there. Like, LeBron is top 3 all time, along with Kareem and Jordan. Like, the Kareem disrespect that started in, like, my generation is insane. Kareem is a legend. There's a reason why he's more MVPs than any other player. Incredible on 2 different teams. Was great when he was Lou Alcindor. Was even better as Kareem. And then Jordan... You know, someone might be upset about that take. I'm not. I agree. Durant is so overrated. KD joined a super team Warriors, and they, like, people forget that they blew a 3-1 lead against LeBron. So they had a 3-1 lead, right? They blew the lead without KD, but they still had the lead. Like, KD, I'll never understand why people act like he's a borderline top 15 player. I'll never understand that one. I understand as a pure scorer, he's incredible. But that's true. Tracy McGrady was an incredible scorer. James Harden also was great at assists. I know we joke about the honey bun man, But James Harden, like, look what they did alone. James Harden got this Rockets team to almost make the finals. KD didn't really do anything. You know, with the Nets, nothing. The Suns basically blew a bunch of leads. So, I agree with that take. I know some of you might call it a hot take. I think KD, he's a great player. He's not no top 15 player all time. Unironically, Nikola Jokic is better than him all time. Already. First and goal for the Stallions, but a lot of people wouldn't want to hear that, but it's true. Ball is snapped, they hand it off the middle. It's going to be a 1-yard gain, tackled at about the 3-yard line. Second and goal. Melo's a great player. Melo definitely sucks that he would, like, some of those guys, because they never won that championship, always going to be viewed so bad. But Melo, he was great when he was great. Second and goal for the Stallions. Ball is snapped, handed off in the middle, gets tackled for about a 2-yard gain, going to be shy about 1 yard. If you don't lose yards here, you go for it on fourth down. You got to try and make this as low a score as you can. If you get this touchdown, go for 2. I know you might want to go for 1. So it's debatable which one, but you can do either of them. Houston could literally blow this game. It is wild. MLB Top 10 is the one I'd be the least fully confident in a sense. Well, let me rephrase that. Ruth, I know people are going to hate it, but Bonds, Ruth, Mays, Hank Aaron, easy ones to pick immediately. There's a couple guys I'm just forgetting on top of my head. You can get a good argument for Mantle. Depends how much you want to talk about the true old guys like Ty Cobb, but yeah. Hand it off, runs to the right. He gets tackled for a loss. That's a 1-yard loss. Now it's a bit debatable. This is 4th and 2. It's going to be a tough one to do right here. Do you go for it in 4th and 2? If you kick the field goal, it's a 7-point game, so it's a 1-score game plus the extra point conversion. But if you get the touchdown, you can make it a field goal game. Suns are probably going to trade KD. They need to do a lot. The Bradley Beal, KD, Devin Booker experience. I say experience because it wasn't experience. Like, you paid Bradley Beal that much money? Oh, my God. 4th and goal for Birmingham. They are going to kick this field goal. I'm not against it here because you lost yardage and you've lost a lot of yardage on these plays. Kick is up. It is good. So I'm not against it because you've been kind of sketchy in this area. Again, that drive at the end of the half was horrid. So, yeah. Mantle, Ruth, Bonds, Ted Williams. That's who I knew I forgot somebody that had to be on there. That's who I completely forgot. I completely forgot about Ted Williams. Pete Rose, Mays, Aaron, Garrett, Pools. Ted Williams, I believe he's the guy people used to joke about with the, I forgot his name. The contract on the Angels. The guy that signed there basically hasn't played at all. Like, not Trout. There's the guy that they signed that was supposed to be a big deal. He used to be on the Nationals, and he's played, like, less games than Ted Williams did during World War II. Note, Ted Williams served in World War II, so pretty bad. But, yeah. Rendon, yeah, I knew I was forgetting his name. Yeah, that contract was so bad. Insane. He got paid so much. He got paid like he was a top 10 NBA player, and it's like, bro, come on, stop. He got that World Series bag. He was part of a World Series team. He was one of the better players in that team. He got paid so much money for it, and it's insane. Yeah, it was insane. It's just the fall off we had with them is insane. It's like, dude, it's like the Angels just sap away any talent from guys that join the team. Like, if you're part of the team and you were, even then, they just, like, they had Trout before he started getting hurt and they had Ohtani. And everybody else is just, yikes. Chris Bryant. Dude, some of these guys, I mean, that was, the more you look back, I still don't get, like, they must have been the only team willing to give him a big contract. Like, the fact that he chose to willingly go to Colorado, like, dude, we can trash Pittsburgh and, like, teams like that as much as we want. There is no reason to go to Colorado. That is legit, like, the worst place to go to. Because at least with Chicago, they're going to try to get better. Chicago's actively trying to suck. Like, come on. Yeah, A-Rod Jeter is definitely a really good debate on exactly who you put higher. Because, like, with Bonds, and I've always believed this, the difference with steroids is that Bonds, even before he took roids, was literally a top 5 player all time if he had kept what he was doing up. But the Jeter-A-Rod debate, that's a great one. Did you see 21-0? I did not see that. I didn't see that one. I know there was, I believe it was the Tigers or somebody played a back-to-back, and they ended up beating the team by 10 in both games, which is insane. But there's been a lot of wild blowouts this year in the MLB, like even more than usual. Talking about A-Rod, right? I'm not like again. That's a really good debate. I don't think it's a hot take either way around, honestly. But it's a tough one because how the roids are like. It's like when you talk about the greatest pitchers of all time. Because like Roger Clemens, had the roid thing happen as well, but he was already really good. It's just that one. Michigan, Houston could end up playing 3 times in 4 weeks. That is true. It would be insane to see right there. The fact that it could legit cost one in the playoffs as well is insane. Yesterday, the Chargers beat the Broncos 21-0. Oh, wait. Bruh. That's good. Still have to have hand-eye coordination, know the pitcher, and hit the pitch so fast. And especially in that era, like, yes, it makes guys like Ken Griffey Jr. even more impressive, but, like, when you have, like, 70+% of the players doing roids, it's like an even playing field to everybody. So it's like, dude, why didn't Mark McGwire have the career Barry Bonds did? Like, he had that incredible home run chase, but why didn't McGwire, win, like, 4 straight MVPs like Bonds did? Like, at the end of the day, you have to be a good player. Rockies are doomed as long as Dick Monfort is the owner. He's doing a fantastic job living up to his first name. Yeah, the Rockies are screwed. That team is just yikes. It is. It's insane. Sub T-Doc. I mean, hey, Houston's still up, but Birmingham's making a big comeback. Houston, they need to score something here. They've allowed a couple of back-to-back drives for Birmingham to score. They have stopped them in the red zone again. They were a DPI penalty away from pretty much forcing another field goal, but it's still a 7-point game now. So Houston needs to get some points on the board here. We'll see if they can pull it up. NFL top 10 is hard, mainly because of position players and all that. Because, like, how much do you value each position? Because obviously, if you just do best overall, Rice, LT, Brady are like 3 immediately come to mind. Jim Brown's up there, but it all depends on exactly what you call. I think that's when it gets tough to do a top 10 based on position stuff. Pass thrown to the right, it's a little check down, but it gets. Oh, he fumbles it. The tight end fumbles the ball, but it is recovered by the Houston Roughnecks just shy of the 50-yard line. That was almost really bad. That was a bad fumble. He just straight up lost the control of the ball right there. He's not making around the ballpark and the product in the field. And even quarterback top 10 is a tough one to do at this point. Because, like, you've got your top 3 is Brady, Manning, Peyton, and Joe Montana. And then after that, it's a pretty tough call. How much credit do you give guys who were not necessarily great playoff performers, but were historically great in the regular season, like Aaron Rodgers? Mahomes, definitely top 5 quarterback all time. Barry Sanders would have been insane. It's a shame he didn't play his full career. He was great. Well, I mean, hell, Jim Brown didn't play his full career either. He was great. Hand off the ball, breaks a tackle, but he gets tackled again. It's going to be about a 2.5-yard loss right there for the Roughnecks. I can see Dion being top 10. I can see that argument. Yeah, top 10 NFL all depends on exactly what position you do, but Eli Manning is Brady's daddy. True. JMO, the team emojis, community member team emojis. 2nd and 12 for the Roughnecks. Got to get some points on the board here. Again, they're close to field goal range, but not in field goal range yet. They got to get a first down, then a few more yards. Let's see if they can pull it off. Again, if they get the first down, they'll be borderline field goal range, but we'll see. Motioning the RB to the right, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ball is snapped to get it off just before the clock expires. Run up the middle. They just gained basically what they lost. It's going to be 3rd and 10. So 3rd and 10 for the Roughnecks. Got to get a first down here. So we'll see what they do here. Jalen McClendon. This offense needs to get 10 yards. Haven't scored in the last 5 minutes, 54 seconds, which normally wouldn't be a stat, but yeah. 3rd and 11 for the Roughnecks. In shotgun. Ball is snapped, drops back to throw. Rolls to his right, throws it. It might be caught, but if it is, it's still going to be about a yard shy right there. If he beat Philly, he may have been very close passing. I would heavily disagree. He is a minimum of 5 years of great football from passing Brady. I would say at minimum. Because in terms of the on pace, yes. But in terms of a career, like, at some point longevity has to matter, especially with Brady. So Mahomes, there's nothing he could do within the next 3 years that puts him above him, I would say. I don't see him fully dropping off. Well, it depends. If you say when he hits 40, I would. Brady, I just don't see somebody being like that when it comes to Brady at his age. I mean, when Brady retired, he had a great passing season. So when talking about 40, I do see a drop-off. But Mahomes, up until 35, I think he'll keep doing what he's doing. Like, he might lose a bit of mobility, but he's not a quarterback that relies on mobility. So, I think he'll still be good. Pirates have also been terrible. I would say Mahomes right now is unarguably top 4, in my opinion, for quarterbacks. That's what I would say. They're going to go for it in 4th and 1. They did review it. It was a catch. Running back to the left. They fake the handoff. McClendon carries. He gets the first down, gets to the 40, and he slides. Very smart decision. Just get the first down, get a couple extra yards, go down. Because I would say Mahomes is top 4 QB all time for sure. Insane catch right there by Houston. They reviewed it, called it a catch. Absolutely insane. Ball is snapped. Hand it off. Run to the left. He's tackled at about the 31-yard line. The one thing is with LeBron, though, is that when you see somebody doing what he... Like, the fact that he made it to 8 consecutive NBA Finals, even if you call it a weaker era, is just... that is a Bill Russell type of number. Like, we talk about Jokic with the actual numbers. Doing that in a 30-team NBA is insane, especially with those Cavs teams. I mean, making it to 10 finals in a career in this era is just insanely stupid. Ball is snap, drops back to throw. Pump fakes, rolls, gets sacked. It's going to be about a 7-yard loss for the Roughnecks. Bad loss take right there. Going to be 3rd down. Yeah, but I mean, again, it goes back to the other point that we've seen a lot of other super teams be formed that didn't necessarily work for sure, right? I mean, when you look at the Celtics, they were the blueprint. They got the super team with the big 3, big 4 argued with Rondo, and they got it. But then you have a lot of other ones that ended up not working out as well. And then, so it's like when you made it to 4 straight with the Heat, 4 straight with the Cavs, won the finals with the Lakers, got to the finals with that awful Cavs team in 08 when Big Z was your second best player somehow. Like, it's just... It's incredible. And what he's doing at his age, I mean... McClendon rolls up, looks to his right, throws it, incomplete. They're going to be forced to kick a long field goal here, but if they make this kick, it'll be great. Put him back to 10 yards. Like Tessitore, but they need to pay better attention. Yeah, Tessitore definitely brings a lot of that wrestling energy, which is a good thing, but... 2020 Houston Roughnecks, PJ, our 2016 Panthers. 2016, yeah, I see what Adam's saying. Because 2015 Cam Newton, that MVP season, man, he was so good. It's a shame they just couldn't keep that up. They're going to punt this year. I understand there'll be a very long field goal, but I'm not a fan of punting it here. If you kick a field goal and you make it back to a 10-point game. Again, it's a risky decision, but yeah. I give a lot of respect to LeBron taking that Cavs team. Oh, they def helped by Dubs. Yeah, I was thinking the year we played in the Super Bowl. Like, it's just, when you look at LeBron, it's just... It is true, there were a few years he should have won MVP. They just decided to not give it to him. Like, there were some of those years that it was pretty clear he should have won it, which, again, happens today. Like, MVP fatigue in basketball is a real thing. And then even without it, I mean, it's just... It's pretty insane. Then play like guys, and TK owns WAB MMA. Dude, TKO, man, awful company. They're making it, like, awful company. Making everything cost so much money is insane. Yeah, Kobe, Shaq, dunk into it. Like, a lot of those great players didn't win MVPs just because they wanted to push a narrative. It's like this year. Like, the MVP is Jokic. Like, Jokic, every single argument is better for him. The Thunder don't even need Shea on the court, and they're a great team. Yet they're going to give it to Shea because of the narrative. It's like I've said, Jokic should be a 3 straight MVP winner. His first MVP should have gone to Giannis. The year they gave it to Embiid should have gone to Jokic. So Jokic shouldn't have won his first one, but then should have won 3 straight with this year. Instead, he won the one he shouldn't have won, didn't win it when he should have won it, and isn't going to win it when he should win it. Because NBA voter fatigue. It's insanely aggravating. Just wild. Like, the Thunder, I mean, that team would sit Shea, play a playoff team, and beat him by, like, 40. Like, come on. Floor seats on the TV side at SummerSlam this August 40K. I know, I saw that stuff. I mean, I get they have the other stuff, but it's insane. Like, I mean, dude, the TKO spending all this damn money is insane. Like, not spending, forcing it. And then, like, I understand cutting talent because, you know, you have to, but, like, bro, you can't be cutting, like, 12, 20 people when you're charging an arm and a leg for tickets. And even UFC events cost so much money. And it's insane. They make all these weak cards and then cost a ton of money. It's insane. I'm going to go to SummerSlam, some cheaper seats available. I hope SummerSlam's good because I know they're doing the 2 nights this year. Pay-per-views with Triple H are hit or miss, but when they're good, they're pretty good. We'll see. I'm very shocked because Houston is very dangerous and Birmingham is suffering consequences. I mean, this game, it's something else. So the fact is, Houston could be up more. That end of the drive in the first half, Birmingham played horribly, but they got bailed out by the DPI, which allowed them to get another chance. So instead of it still being, you know, a 13-point game, it's now, or would have been 13-point, or they would have lost 3 points. Would have been a 13-point game now, or a 10-point game. Instead, they're right back in it, and Houston is looking to punt this, which is weird. So, yeah. Backlash last night was great. The one thing I hate about Triple H, because in terms of booking stories, he's better than Vince at the end, but the matches at the end is so rough. Like, the amount of interference spots is insane. Like, that's why whenever somebody says, like, what was it? Roman Reigns had an incredible title reign. I'm like, no, he didn't. Right? If every match ends with interference, you're not making the face look strong. You're just making a boring finish. That's what I hated about Backlash. Backlash should have been a great pay-per-view, but you had interference in the first match with Jeff Cobb. You had interference in the third match with El Grande Americano. You had interference in the fourth match. I'm trying to forget what that fourth match is, but you had it. And you had interference in the fifth match. Like, 4 out of 5 matches had interference. Like, stop. Come on. Stop that. 1st and 10 for the Stallions. The punt was down at about the 9-yard line. So let's see what Birmingham can do here. They are down a touchdown and a 1-point conversion away from tying this game. Ball snap, quick throw to the left. It is caught. And he gets tackled for about a 2-yard gain. Houston is Birmingham's kryptonite. Dude, I mean, they've pulled off 2 of those 4 losses back in the USFL. They pull it off again. Ooh, it'll be insane. I thought Backlash was good aside from the endings. That's what I would say. That's my thoughts on it. I liked it, but I didn't like the very ends of, like, all of the ends. Like, interference spot after interference spot. And this is coming from a guy who had a lot of people they liked on that card. It's just, I agree. Drew needs to get a title. Handoff over the middle. It's going to be about a 3-yard gain. Going to be a 3rd and 5 here. UFL also Vince's. Okay, so that's just making some stuff up. I mean, Vince hasn't been a part of spring football since 2020. Some people think Rocky should be relegated and replaced by the Savannah Bananas. I mean, dude, the Rockies, they gave Chris Bryant a contract and said, we're trying, and then didn't sign anybody else. They are not trying at all. It was insane. That team is so bad. 3rd and 6 for the Stallions, motioning one receiver from the left to less to the left. Ball snapped, throws it over the left. It is going to be incomplete. Bad throw by Cook. This is going to... Oh, there is a flag. This might be DPI. Or there might be defensive holding, I would say. Yeah, but I mean, he invented it back in like 2001, and then he sold it fully in 2020. I mean, hey, they came up with a lot of stuff the NFL used, just like the OG USFL. I mean, a lot of the OG USFL stuff, like the 2-point conversion, went to the NFL. So, I mean, that's just something that ends up happening. Like, a lot of those things that were created have stuck around from alt leagues, but yeah. To the female stuff, dude, Vince stuff, all those bad things, bro. Yeah, all those scandals looking terrible for Vince. I mean, 1st and 10 after the penalty. So again, another bad blow for Houston, taking a bad penalty. Shouldn't. The only one I feel sorry for is their mascot, Dinger the Triceratops. The Diddy qualities. Ball is snapped. They hand it off. It gets to the 30, about the 31.5-yard line for the Stallions on the 1st down play. Still interviewing Jamar on the sideline. Again, solid 1st down rush right there for the Birmingham Stallions. Go over here. For your debut, your team choked. You had a 2-0 lead initially and you blew it. And my PC might have crashed again. Yes, sir. 2nd and 4. Ball is snapped. Throw it deep to the left. It's going to be caught by Deion Kane. Oh, incomplete. Almost a catch. Would have been an insane catch. Instead, it is incomplete. There we go. Thank God my computer didn't crash this time. Gonna X that out. Third and 4 for the Stallions here. Again, if Houston can stop them here, that'll be huge. Get the ball back, try to eat up some clock, get a field goal or something, that'd be great. Dude, He Hate Me jersey would be insane. That's such a great jersey. That's a classic. Quick pass to the right, it is caught. I know somebody in chat has a He Hate Me jersey, so it is cool. This is going to be 4th down. It's going to be about a yard shy. Now, if you're Birmingham, this is very debatable on if you go for it. If you fail this, you're giving them the ball essentially in field goal range. But if you make this, you can keep this drive going, so we'll see. Memphis Maniacs, San Francisco Demons. It was the Birmingham Thunderbolts, I believe, or I forgot. They had like 2 names like that. But XFL, the OG XFL had some good names. Still debating on exactly what they should do here. So let's see what they end up doing on this play. Vincent Shane. I knew a T-Dog with the He Hate Me jersey. They're going to go for it in 4th and 1. But they have to call a timeout because there's 0 seconds left. They're going to, shout timeout here for Birmingham. Shane McMahon. Now, that was somebody who did a lot. Shane did not have to do nearly all the bumps he took. He tried his best. He did everything he could. 4th and 1 for Birmingham. Again, I agree. You go for it here. You're less than a yard away. You only need to get literally like a couple of feet. Get the 1st down. Keep your drive alive. You don't want to give Houston the ball back. But again, if you fail this, though, if you're Houston, man, you're taking that really good. If you're talking pure WWE, that's the difference. Because are you counting WCW? Are you counting ECW? Counting the territories? Because, like, Ric Flair pure WWE versus Ric Flair other things is a heavily different thing in terms of the rankings. But overall, hold up. 4th and 1 for the Stallions. Motioning receiver right to the left. Ball is snapped. Hands it off. And he gets the 1st down just barely. It looked like he got it just barely. So will be a 1st down for the Stallions. Would be shy if they call that shy, but had a couple of questionable ones before. So if you were to do top 10 WWE, pure WWE, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Taker, Brett, Cena, Orton, Mick Foley, Reigns, Shawn Michaels, Hogan. Pure WWE, that's a pretty tough one to go against. Because Mick Foley, I know some people would question that one. Mick Foley was insane. He took a lot of bumps he didn't have to. He gave some of the most incredible moments ever. I would say that's pretty solid list. I'm just personally not a huge guy of Reigns. Pass thrown over the middle. It is caught, gets tackled at 40. I would honestly put Rollins over Reigns. Yeah, that's a good one. Macho Man, Razor Ramon, Andre. Those are a couple big ones. Yeah, I forgot about ooh, that's a tough one. Because I would say Rock, Stone Cold, Taker, Brett, Cena, Orton. It's pretty hard. Hogan are pretty unarguable. And even like Michaels and Foley. I would say you can do a top like 14. That's pretty unarguable. That's what I'd say. CM Punk, ooh, is a good one. Run back. He pitches the ball to the running back who gets tackled, but he gets to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be a 0-yard loss right there. So solid right there. Huge OTC fan. They got to get rid of the Solo Sikoa stuff, bro. Solo Sikoa is so worthless. CM Punk is a good one. Not a Rollins fan anymore, used to be. I would say we're talking about all time. It's just because I'm not a fan of Rollins either, but if you're talking about an all-time perspective, I think he would be above Reigns, but I honestly would say CM Punk, I might have above both of them. 2nd and 10. Ball is snapped. Fake the handoff. Cookus rolls to his right. There is a flag. Might be offensive holding. Throws it. Incomplete. It depends exactly how you call WWE, because if you're viewing just WWF, because like, it depends if you're allowed to count Bruno. If you're allowed to count Bruno because of him being the OG, I would have him in the top 10. But if you're counting basically WWF, not WWF, then it's different. But Bruno would be the only other guy I could think of off the top of my head. Triple H technically has an argument, but I personally wouldn't put that there. But yeah. He's great talent, but he gets carried by the fans of the kids. No order. That's why I went to night 1. I didn't want to see Cody go over. And then Cena ended up getting the W. Cena, Reigns, Stone Cold, Hogan, HBK, Hart, Orton, Triple H, Undertaker, Lesnar, Brock Lesnar. That's another one. I know he has the issue when he came back, how he was kind of part-time, but then he ended up becoming over at the very end, and now there's a whole issue with his stuff. Top 10 for WWE is a tough one. If you're purely talking WWE, not counting WCW, is a tough one. Because if you add WCW, then you have to put in Ric Flair, and then Sting gets a really good argument, too. And then even Booker T is a good one, too. It's a tough one. 3rd and 10. Ooh, they might have gotten somebody to jump off sides. This might be a free play. Yep, it's a free play, so they're going to get it. Oh, Philly Mania. I got you. Cookus is down. We might see J.R. Smith come in. I got you, Philly, yeah. Yeah, if you're a Roman Reigns fan, yeah, they definitely saw that one coming a mile away. As long as Taker is at 1. Yeah, when you talk about WWE, Taker just did. I mean, like, when you think of WWE, I would agree. Taker was literally in so many damn eras. Like, he has to be there for sure. Cookus might be fully out. So they might have gotten the free play, but Cookus might be down. So we're going to have our 5th quarterback for Birmingham. I will say, after this stream, I might do that. After when this game is over, I might do a little quick top 10. Like, not like listing like 1, 2, 3, but put 10 guys on there. Because we could do that for a bit after this one. 3rd and 5 for the Stallions. So Jamar is in. This is official. 5 quarterbacks for the Stallions have played this season now because of injuries. Purely injuries, insane. 3rd and 5. Well, if you count Undertaker as a character, Undertaker would be number 1. And The Fiend, I know the biggest issue is Vince's booking of him. Like, that decision to have him be buried in that Hell in a Cell match against Seth Rollins, one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. 3rd and 5. Ball snapped, looks to the left. Quick throws. It's going to be incomplete. So they're going to force a 4th down anyway. Big one. Maybe separate vid. I mean, that was going to be a vid. It would be, you know, a vid would be a community member. I don't know. If Birmingham doesn't win the championship, they may win the injury ball. Tag teams, no question. New Day are the GOATs. WWE wish that Big E could get cleared so all 3 members can run the division together again. In terms of length, yeah, tag teams is a good one too. You got a lot of, because then there's a lot of question about them. But Birmingham is going to kick a field goal. Mevis is going to kick a long 52-yarder. If he makes this, it will be a close game. It is up. It is just barely good. It is a 4-point game. Houston over Birmingham right now. That Hell in a Cell match was nothing compared to Goldberg beating Fiend for the title. Dude, Goldberg come back winning the title. Oh my goodness. Hollywood Hogan. This is the NWO. It's so true. People say people were trying to compare the Cena heel turn to Hogan. Dude, you can hate Hogan all you want. Cena's heel turn nowhere near as good as the NWO turn for Hulk Hogan. Him dropping the big leg on Macho Man. That's a heel turn. We weren't playing in the Attitude Era. It's for life. The Dennis Rodman Group. Over the Usos, I might have New Day over the Usos. Might. I don't know for sure. That's a tough one. But Hardys. Don't give Edge and Christian. They give us some great matches too. Birmingham 3-3 on field goal attempts this game. I mean, dude, Harrison Mevis, Andrew Mevis has been great this season. Again, we all talk about Hot Rod, but he's been great. Guys, what if we... Oh. Oh, no. 4,700 for this game. Man, that's so bad. I'm going to retweet Meerkat's head. This is insane right there. Great kick by Meerkats, though, again. Great kick. JMR being in the game is hilarious. It really is insane. Houston point differential -2. Forgot Heart Foundation. That's another great tag team. New Age Outlaws. Wow, I lost a ton right there. I literally went for a second. I knew it would be bad, but Houston's definitely pulling it on so far. Did you see Renegades versus Panthers game? It was I did. I was shouting for them to run with Tawa 2 straight plays. Like, I literally was sitting there. I was like, dude, just run it straight up the middle with Tawa. And they did it. They got the touchdown. They got the 1-point conversion. Arlington choked. Another game they shouldn't have choked. It was hilarious. Love to see that. Hilarious they keep choking all these games. Little over 7.5 minutes left in the game. Houston has a 4-point lead. If they kick a field goal here, make it back to a 7-point lead. That's what they need to do. They need to get a score. It needs to be some kind of score at all. If they can get any kind of score here, it'll be huge for them. Make this a much, much closer game. Or much, much easier game for them. I'm not going to phrase that. So we'll see if they can pull it off. LT versus Bam Bam Bigelow. That's a classic. Bam Bam needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Insane that he's not. Houston scores a TD, it's over. Yeah, if Houston scores a TD, it's borderline over, but a field goal, it'll be a close one. 1st and 10. Ball is snapped. McClendon throws over the middle. It is caught. Gets tackled about the 44-yard line. Huge play for them. Yeah, basically aside from hockey, all the new gens are definitely softer in pretty much like many ways. I would agree with that. Cook is throwing 35 times today is insane. Come on, guys, let's do this. Yes or no, will you over the score? If they score a touchdown, it's borderline over. Again, we're still a lot of time left, so you don't know for sure, but if they get a touchdown, it's going to be tough. Rips up. I think I just saw that too. Hate to see that. 1st and 10, ball snapped. Handoff, fake it. McClendon rolls up. Gets tackled for about a 3-yard loss. Trending. Yeah, Sabu did pass away. Yeah, I think that came out a couple hours ago, I believe. If Houston loses, every Texas team will be below 500. Bruh. That's insane. But it's true. I mean, Arlington, they've been choking a lot this season. 3rd and 12 for the Roughnecks. Can they get this first down here? First down here would be huge. If not, Birmingham will get the chance to take the lead if they can score a touchdown. Again, the biggest issue for Houston today is they've been failing on a lot of their extra point attempts. They only got 1 of their 4 touchdowns successful, so they left at least 3 points on the board from extra points. Ball is snapped. McClendon rolls to his right. He throws it over the middle. It is incomplete. Not a great throw. While throwing it on the runs, was going to force a punt. The $1 Million Corporation. DXR for National Ministry. Nexus Wides. 1 and 2 for ECW phase for me. 4th and 12. Stallions getting another shot. There's 5.5 minutes left. Now, again, if Birmingham scores a touchdown, it's going to be questionable what they want to do here. Because, again, they're down 4 right now, so they score a touchdown, they get a 2-point lead. Do you go for 1 just to make it a field goal game, or go for 2 to make it a bigger one? We'll see. My feed goes from the sad news to Skipper, Showboat's mascot, taking away food from Battlehawks fans tailgating in Memphis. Bro. That's wild. Yeah, time possession battle right now, saying this is actually updated, which I don't think it is. Wow, nice job, UFL site, for not updating this. Diabolical. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they are dominating by a pretty wide margin. Stallions versus Roughnecks on Fox, May 11th. Yes, it is currently... Well, it's about a 10-minute difference for Birmingham right now in time possession. That's how insane it is. What are we doing? It is absolutely wild right now what they're doing, what Houston's doing. Just not playing great. Do you do any other sports? In terms of YouTube, no. Mainly just because of the fact that it's a lot of work just maintaining one channel, and doing another one is tough. I just pretty much only do, I'll do the streams for the NFL and college games during the year, but yeah. Houston got this game in the bag. It's coming, and we hope so, but we'll see. Now we need win to lose to the battle. I believe every Friday night game is Fox. Yeah, every Friday game is on Fox. Love to see that it's the same one, but man, people are talking about the Birmingham attendance, how bad it is. And I mean, true, it is awful. Almost that time. Yes, sir. Now we need losing the time possession battle at 10 is a major reason. Yeah, for sure. Do you bet where? Yeah, I don't, because for that kind of reason, I just I always say at the very end of those videos, like, these are just my game picks coinciding with the betting picks. But yeah, if I was betting this week, it would look pretty good, because I mean, I don't think it looks like. I mean, the spread of this game is 5.5, and I picked Houston to win outright, and I picked the over. So if I were to have done each singularly, it is all but a guarantee I get at least 2 of those correct. So this week I've been doing pretty solid, even the overall 2 years. But yeah, not a fan. The only times I would bet, and I said this, there was one Showboats game earlier this season where I basically said bet on it because it was so obvious, and it ended up being exactly right. I don't remember which one that was, but there was one earlier this year that if I was going to bet, I would have bet on it, and I would have hit that one. But overall, man, it's just, there's almost never a true gimme in terms of betting. They try to run up the middle, but they get tackled. So it's going to be a 0-yard gain for Jamar Smith, who is still in at quarterback for the Stallions right now. Cookus is on the side, and looks like he might have just been legit benched at this point. If they had the championship game in Seattle to promote expansion, how do you think attendance will look like? Seattle is a weird one, only for the issue that there's no teams truly close to it, whereas Canton would have been closer, or Columbus would have been closer. But I would expect it to be probably between 10 and 20K. 2nd and 10. Ball is snapped. Pass thrown over the middle. It is going to be caught. Deion K with a huge catch. Gets tackled at the 48-yard line. Big catch right there. Insane right there. So I guess it'd be a good game for Tens. It could be. I mean, especially because like we know New Orleans had the great TV ratings despite there not being any team there last year. So I wouldn't be shocked it had good attendance. Like I don't think it would be anything insane. It wouldn't be like 25K, but it would have been solid in-person attendance because people bought tickets there would go to see a game there. So I think it would have been solid. Fox scoreback is whack. Rush up the middle by Jamar. Gets the first down and about 2 more yards. Yeah, I wish they had it on ESPN. I don't know why they don't. But let me see if I can do this. I think I might be able to do something about this real quick. Move that there. Then move it a bit there. I guess it's a bit better. Nah, move it a bit. I could probably crop that at some point, but that's a little bit better. But yeah, I really hate how it's not ESPN. ESPN is much better. Oh, making my own be almost a night would be impossible. That'd be a nightmare to do. Because I would use the UFL's official one, but like the UFL's is very inconsistent on how it works, and like right now the site still hasn't updated. But yeah. Where's the first quarter Roughnecks? I want them back. Dude, true, they scored 18 points in the first quarter and haven't done pretty much anything since. Yeah, the UFL one's a big Philly championship game. Beox playing in the home game for the championship would definitely do it. Dude, home playoff game, or home championship for the Battlehawks would be insane. Again, there's 3.5 minutes left right now, so yeah. Yeah, setting up like this kind of score bug from scratch would be like damn near impossible because you have to update it every single time something happens. That would be a nightmare. Because like it's different when it's a score. Like if you just do the score itself, that's pretty easy to do. But doing like an actual play-by-play stuff is like a nightmare. That's why ESPN is so good. ESPN is so clean. 1st and 10, pass thrown over to the left. It is going to be incomplete. Threw it a bit early / Maribel, not really seeing it coming. Going to be 2nd and 10. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Remember, Houston has no challenge left, but they have all 3 timeouts left in this half. Birmingham has a challenge and has 2 timeouts. But we know what happened. Yeah, San Antonio, man, that was a tough one. San Antonio just dominated that game in the playoffs. 2nd and 10. Let's see what Birmingham would do here. Under 3 minutes left to go in the game now. Motioning the running back to the right. 2 receivers on both sides of the ball. Ball is snap. Smith looks to the middle, throws it. It's going to be caught by Jay Sturter, who gets the first down, gets to the 20-yard line, gets to the 15. Gets tackled out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. Yeah, the ESPN one is so clean. I don't know if they added it now, but I know for the NFL and college, it's so good. It shows the actual feel, it shows the play, it shows everything. It's so good. Fox UFL scoreboard is basically the old Fox NFL one. Yeah, especially the actual one for like the in-games, for sure. It literally is the same. Which I'm fine. I hate how they change it every single year. Like, dude, just keep the same score bug every time. 1st and goal. This play will more than likely be the last play of the half, or the before 2-minute one. We'll see though. Ball snapped. End up getting a no gain on the first down play. And we are going to lose classic Houston. That would be insane. If Houston does lose this one, oh my goodness. You think the NFL will ever steal the 1-2 point? The 3-point, maybe. The 1, I doubt it. Like, I think the best thing to do is just push the PAT back some more, but I doubt it. They might add the 3-point at some point in the future, but I don't think they'll do the 1, 2, 3. So they do call a timeout, so they have 2 timeouts left. 2 minutes and 9 seconds left. Houston is trying to save some clock so they can get the ball back no matter what. Because, again, no matter what, unless Birmingham does something insanely bold, what is going to happen is they're going to score a touchdown. It's going to make it 25-27. They're probably going to go for 1 to make it a tie game. Yeah, it's insane looking back in time how the PAT used to be like such a legit surefire gimme. It's insane. I'm glad they moved it back some. Yeah, 2025 Super Bowl doc scoreboard is back. 2nd and goal. Let's see what the Stallions do here. Yeah, they need a touchdown. A field goal is not going to do it. Inactive today. 5th quarterback playing is insane. It's great. Case Cook is. Imagine saying heading into the season, Cook has to play the most games at quarterback for the Stallions. That you'd be called like they just said no way. 2nd and goal. 2 receivers on both sides. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Ball is snapped. Jamar throws it to the right. It's going to be caught. Tackled out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. But he goes out of bounds, it looks like. So it still will probably take this to a 2-minute warning. We'll see. Third and goal. 2-minute warning. So no matter what, Houston will get the ball back with over a minute and a half. So they'll be able to get downrange to get a field goal. But obviously that's Zoom. I want to keep the 1 point being a PAT. Like, I like it being a regular kick. Like, that's why I'd be fine adding the 3-point conversion. But they need to just keep the 1 point kick. I do agree. I think it's kind of aggravating to do the no kick for that. So that's what I would say. Why such a drop-off? Well, this is where we're really seeing the difference of the season ticket numbers being down because of the fact that this was on Mother's Day and 11 a.m. local time. This was terrible scheduling by the league, and I'm not shocked. Birmingham has been disappointing pretty much their whole time. Not like I'm shocked, but I'm not like super shocked. Just a terrible look. Again, when I do a video on this in the off season, yeah. This is a game somehow. I mean, this would break the record by a decent margin for the largest comeback this season. I mean, it would be hilarious. This would be hilarious if they choke this one. A 25-6 lead. The record is 15. This would be a 19-point blowout. Or a 19-point blown lead. That would be hilarious. And again, a lot of it falls back to the DPI at the end of the half. Birmingham had that terrible drive. But then Houston made the grave mistake of getting a DPI penalty. Gave them an extra set of downs. They were able to get the field goal. And it was... Or get the touchdown, so yeah. It's terrible. With the 5th QB playing, insane. Cavs just entered the room. 20-point lead blown. 20-point lead, bro. Dude, that Celtics Knicks, the Celtics blowing back-to-back 20-point leads was insane. That was insane to see that. That was hilarious. And then they beat them by like 30. Well, it was 30, but then, closed the gap when it was garbage time. Insane. That was insane. That series is crazy. Okay, in terms of series going on right now, the best is the Oilers Golden Knights. Second best might be Leafs Panthers. Then Celtics Knicks. Then Stars Jets maybe. It's a tough one. Nick Shador starts a game or two this fall. I would imagine at least 1 or 2 just for the sake of ratings and people like that. That's what I would guess. Imagine more people at the Showboats game than the Stallions. That would be awesome. For all the funny reasons, I would love to see that. That would be great because the amount of people would be talking in such a it would be cinema. Speaking of cinema, the Stallions having a chance to legit get the lead here. They're at 3rd and goal at about the 1.5 yard line. Houston will have a chance to tie/win this game. Again, Birmingham scores. Do they go for 1 to make it a 3-point game or go for 2 to make it a 4-point game? It'll be a tough decision there. Because if you make it a 4-point game, you're going to force a touchdown. But granted, that means if you get a touchdown, it would be game over. You would lose. Whereas if you make it a 3-point game, Houston's going to play for the field goal, play for overtime. Which you already lost in overtime once, so we'll see. Let's see what Jamar and the Stallions do here. Again, there is a chance that Houston can get a nice 2-yard loss here on Birmingham. That would be huge for them. They are in shotgun. Very weird decision to do this. Play out of shotgun. Ball is snapped. They drop back to throw. And he runs, and he gets the touchdown. That's very reminiscent of his run against the Generals back in 2022. Just ran right through everybody. Touchdown. It is a 2-point lead. Birmingham has officially made the comeback, but can they hold this to win this? Houston choke neck. want to see Memphis keep their team. I want to see teams stay in the same building for the league's sake. Taking teams away every year is going to kill the league. Yeah, I hope Memphis is good attendance today because that's going to really help them out, especially how the team is. But massive touchdown for the Stallions. Insane. Just wild. They are going to go for one to make this a 3-point game. Do they convert this? There's probably a lot of Battlehawks fans. True. You blew a 19-point lead. I'm honestly stunned, bro. Mole. Oh, this hurts to see for sure. Again, this will be at worst a tie game potential for Houston. If they are able to stop this 1-point conversion, a field goal could win it, and they could win off a walk-off field goal. But even then, like, this is why I only put Houston up at... See, this is why I put them right below Birmingham in the power rankings. Because I was like, man, these are very close teams. I thought Houston pulled the upset, but I did put them right behind the power rankings. Again, this is why I put them above DC, but here, because again, I would even say that this arguably makes me feel like it, but yeah. It might be. If they win this game, it's the largest comeback victory in the UFL history. Again, they got to get this 1-point conversion to make this a field goal tie game, because if not, this Roughnecks could win off a field goal. But the Roughnecks offense hasn't necessarily been great this half. But they do have 2 timeouts left. They are able to milk that clock. We'll see. Texas, big, sad. We live, eat, and sleep football. Except in Houston. I'm joking. Kind of. Sorry, Mo. 1-point attempt. Let's see if they get this. Ball is snapped. They fake the handoff. Jamar gets tackled shy. It's going to be an incomplete. That means that this is a field goal to win it. If Houston can kick a field goal, they could potentially win this game on a last-second field goal or at least just get the lead. This is more of the biggest blown lead. There is a flag. I think this is after the play, though. And here they are at this point in the season. Renegade Showboats and now Roughnecks. Why can't team stop Birmingham in the second half of the game in Birmingham and allow the Stallions the chance to win? I mean, it is wild. It all goes back to that DPI in the end of the half. That's what really hurt this one. The XFL Roughnecks wouldn't choke. This flag I do think is going to be after the play, so let's see what it is, though. Still waiting for the call. Again, if this is after, it could be really beneficial. Yep, after the play. Unnecessary roughness on the defense. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty against the Roughnecks after the kickoff. That's a bad penalty to take there. Definitely a tough one to take, though some would argue that is not the worst thing to take in a sense because of the fact that that does mean that you are going to eat up more clock, so we'll see. Mark Thompson, throw out the laughing emoji, bruh. You know he's eating this up. That's hilarious. You know he is having a ball. BM has the Chiefs devil magic when it comes to momentum swings. And the Chiefs fans complaining when they lose. Interviewing Jamar on the sideline right now. BM's the KC of the UFL. 3 of 5 for 63 yards, 3 rushes for 12 yards and a touchdown. Wild. 21 unanswered. Diabolical. Kickoff is up. Remember, there will be a 15-yard penalty against the Roughnecks. Up to the 20. 25. Cuts to the right. And he gets tackled at about the 27 with forward progress. Fumble, Stallions ball, that's game. Or almost game. No way. No way. No way. Fumble on the Roughnecks. Birmingham ball. No way. Absolutely no way. Well, Houston, welcome back to number 6 on my power rankings and maybe 7. You are falling. You had one good week. You're going down. That's insane. Yeah, no, that's it. That is why we lose. How? I mean, seriously, like, dude, you can't make this up. Just peanut punched right out of there. Recovered by Birmingham. Now, remember, play the Sandler clip. Birmingham using the Chiefs Devil Magic for sure. CJ back in the hot seat. We were here. Now, again, there's 2 timeouts left, so Houston will get the ball back. Houston fumbled the kickoff return. And Birmingham scored a touchdown. Game over. That's basically game over. So much for Houston covering. This is what was we the ones who live were talking about. It looked like it was guaranteed. Not anymore. Insane. Absolutely insane. Bro. Absolutely insane. I mean, that's a 19-point lead. Guys, you know what's coming. We have the image. That's the wrong image. Let me find the right image. That's the wrong image, too. That's the wrong... Dude. Wait. Did I... Oh, that's right. There it is. There it is. That's... Okay, so... Insane. Even if we should be relegated, yes, CJ needs to go. Should Johnson be fired? Yes. Time to watch Seahawks pick up a big tub. I literally turned the game off and came back to see your response. This is insane. I mean, seriously, this is, like, embarrassing by Houston. It really is. Houston been shut out. Current rankings, number 1, Michigan. Number 2, St. Louis. Number 3, Birmingham. 4, D.C. 5, Arlington. 6, Houston. 7... Up to debate. 7 and 8 is going to be dependent on how this game is. This was back when Houston was 0-3 and they were really trash, and Esther made this joke saying that, you know, this is the new, basically the worst person on the planet is CJ, because that is Curtis Johnson, the coach of the Roughnecks. So it's a classic meme image right there. Yeah, that is Curtis Johnson on one side. Curtis Johnson on one side and the other one. My favorite part is that there is legitimately someone who took a live line and got Houston minus 13.5. That is pretty bad. Yeah, that's a little bit of an older CJ Johnson picture, but yeah. CJ saved his shot last 3 weeks just to lose in the biggest choke job. Yeah, it's rough. For dude on the left. True. Now, guys, somehow there's still a game technically. There's a minute and a half. Houston has 2 timeouts. It's an 8-point game. Technically speaking, Houston is still in it. If they get a touchdown, get the 2-point conversion, they force OT, so we'll see. Though I will say, they will probably score the touchdown, then fail the 2-point conversion. Mole, if that happens, I'm sorry, but I feel that. Yeah, Houston can still score. They have to get a touchdown and 2-point conversion with a minute and a half left. So let's see if they can do it. McClendon rolls out to his left. Throws it while he gets hit. It is going to be incomplete, out of bounds. Best option for Houston was for BM to score in the first play. Agreed. Just make them use the clock. You stopped and now it's 8-point game, so it's still a 1-score game plus 2-point conversion, so you're still in it. But this is an insane game so far. Again, 2nd and 10 for Houston. They got to go downfield. A minute and a half. Remember, the clock stops on first down until the chains are moved. So this is like college football. You have a lot of time on your hands in this game with a minute and a half, especially when you have 2 timeouts still. Though Birmingham still does have their challenge. If Houston wins and goes for 3 and gets it, I'm going to laugh my ass off. That would be hilarious. 2nd and 10. McClendon has 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Drops back to throw. And he gets sacked. He takes a 10-yard sack on second down. That's what he couldn't do. That was a terrible play right there. That is insane. Terrible sack to take right there. Central NC. Terrible play right there for the Roughnecks. Again, oh, that's some awful blocking. That's not even really on McClendon. Lineman just completely whiffed on his blocking assignment, and McClendon just got lit up right in the middle. No, so Houston haven't scored since 25-12. Since 25-6. It was 25-6 and they blew it. I mean, that was insane. Well, about the timeout thing, I mean, when it was ruled a first down, and since it was a first down, the clock would have stopped anyway. And when he did go down, there was a second left. So no matter what, there would have been a second left. So even though no one did on the sideline camera, they showed that he got it off before it happened. He still would have got the timeout off anyway because of the fact that the clock would have stopped because it was first down. But it was an insane ending, though Perkins almost sold that game. He was incredible, but he almost sold that game going for that hurdle. Nuggets, Thunders. I want the Nuggets to win, but I have a feeling this might be one of those 1-in-1 series where they just keep trading games. So I wouldn't be shocked if the Thunder win tonight. Help us, Michigan Panthers. Your only hope, true. Half second, yep. 3rd and 18. McClendon drops back, rolls to his right. He's going to throw it deep over the middle. It gets tipped, and it gets incomplete. They're going to be at 4th and 18. This is the final play for the Roughnecks, potentially. Houston coach looks like Franklin the Turtle. Yeah, bruh, end up debating, man. Nuggets win the night. They win the series, though. I believe it's 2-1, though. Yeah, it's 2-1 right now. So if they win, they'll be up 3-1. Houston coach plays to not lose. They're trying to win, always has. I mean, this is what we were questioning. They were like Michigan. They didn't beat anyone good, but Michigan, they proved everybody wrong. Houston, not as much. 4th and 18. This is the potential final play. And it's a fumble. It's a sack fumble. Game over. Houston loses. Oh, my God. Okay, so we're putting the image back up there. Wrong image. So, bro. Absolutely insane. Embarrassing for Houston. I mean, that's diabolical. That is insane. Absolutely insane. This is unbelievable. Roughnecks to learn. Roughnecks have always been the pathetic team since the UFL form. How did this happen? Hilarious end of game call. We love it. Bring back the game as well. Siege Shots needs to go. Ship can shave. Panthers won't be in their home stadium in the UFL Conference Championship. Maniacs. This is... Bruh. I mean... New largest blown lead in UFL history. I mean, seriously, embarrassing. That is... I mean, oh my God. Gotta see this photo that Jake sent. I just got off work. What happened? Insane. This has to be several records. So what ended up happened is we had the largest blown lead in the UFL's history. Thanks for the chat. See you next time. Thank you again. We'll do the next one on Friday. Another tank bowl. But the Roughnecks blew a 19-point lead. That is the largest blown lead in UFL history. They just couldn't score in the second half is what ended up happening. Every single time they just whiffed time and time again. I mean, seriously. I mean, yeah, it was 25-6. They just couldn't score. They made so many mistakes, and it's just, oh my goodness. I mean, insane. Horrible loss for Houston. I mean, inexcusable loss. They went from winning, they had a minus like 11, 12, 13 and a half, I think we said, and then now, oh my goodness. Just terrible. This is, I mean, seriously, this is insane. Just, let me see. Is it? I doubt it's trending, but I would hope it's trending. That'd be hilarious if it is. Sadly, no. That'd be hilarious if this was trending. That would have been awesome. Oh, I know Ace is pissed. Oh my goodness. Crying right now. Don't like that. Worst game Roughnecks history. True. Now it's time to watch my Viox. I saw the score 20 Stallions get a kick-ass set in the second quarter. Like what happened when Houston got the pick six, making 18-6 first. I looked at my mom and said this game is probably over. So what ended up happening, Chauncey, is pretty much at the end of the half is what really changed it. At the end of the first half, Birmingham was playing terribly. They made mistake after mistake. They could have ran the ball like 7 times and didn't. But then Houston took a bad DPI penalty that gave them a new fresh set of downs. They were able to score a touchdown off that. So then that cut the lead down to about like 13, right? Then they got the ball to start the half. They were able to score on that drive. So now it's a much closer game. And then since then, at that point, Houston just couldn't do anything on offense. And Birmingham was able to do something on defense the whole game. And they were able to score on offense despite injuries to Case Cookus. So in the end, they just kept scoring. Whereas Houston just, they didn't do anything. It wasn't even like, it was rough. I mean, it was a bad ending. Like, let's pull the play-by-play right here. So, this drive right here. This was a horrid drive for Birmingham. They played it terribly. But then, this happened. The penalty. And Houston used their challenge on it and failed. And then a couple plays later, that's earlier in the game. Then there was this penalty. This is the other bad one. This happened, and then it ended up being a touchdown. Start the half, immediately get an insane quick field goal here. Great return, great big catch by Marlon Williams. Kick a field goal. Punt, field goal, touchdown here. And then Houston fumbled on a kickoff return, and that was what led to this sequence right here. Fumble by Houston, and then Birmingham got the touchdown. They let them score. Then they went 4 plays, just sucked, and that was it. Game over. Could have taken knee starting the third and one low. Honestly, they might have. I wouldn't be shocked in that one. Fell on their swords. What an insane game. True. Houston went from potentially being a top 3 team in the league to 6th. They are 6th right now in my rankings, power rankings. I can't see any argument for them being anywhere else, barring, you could even put them somewhere else, but yeah. For so many turnovers, I mean, wow, that's crazy. It's insane they blew this game. This is one of those inexcusable losses, yet they somehow lost. I mean, this is the largest blown lead in UFL history. I mean, we saw that a couple weeks ago with the DC-Arlington game. It was a 15-point comeback. This was a 19-point comeback that they blew. I mean, seriously. So, now, as Panther Shadow just pointed out, Michigan is now in clinching scenario next week. If they beat Houston, they clinch a playoff spot. So, Michigan is in clinching scenario. Houston is getting into that must-win territory. Yeah, pull Cam Newton. I'm back. He did. I mean, insane. Wild ending of this one. Again, it hurts for the Roughnecks because that was such a good first quarter. I mean, seriously, they blew a 19-point lead. I'm a Stallions fan. So this is funny. Yeah, it's looking like we might have another Houston versus Birmingham. Not surprised about the Roughnecks blowing it. So let me pull this up on the side here. I know I could pull it up over there, but I'm just not. So standings, actually, let me pull it up over here for you guys to see this. Okay, so 2025 UFL season Wikipedia. Scroll down to the standings. I don't think this will be fully updated yet. It is not. So this is 3 and 4 now. This is 5 and 2 now. So 5 there, 2 here, 3 and 1, 2 and 2 now. So now that means that both these teams are 5 and 2. Houston is 3 and 3, obviously. So because of the fact they're dropped to there, that means that for Houston, right? Houston's next 3 games are Michigan, DC, Michigan. So if they lose to Michigan, that means that the Michigan Panthers clinch a playoff spot because they will jump to 6 and 2 and the Roughnecks will jump down to 3-5, meaning there is no way for them to come back, which also means that if that happens and Birmingham themselves win their game against the Battlehawks, that they will clinch. So the USFL conference can be fully set after next week. It can be fully set in regards to the two teams making it, though obviously the number 1 seed will still be up for grabs. So yes, it's like Molten said, the Roughnecks could be eliminated next week. Yes, for math. Memphis, with a loss today, is eliminated. If they lose today, them and the Brahmas get eliminated. So we could see 2 teams be eliminated today, yeah. Alright, sup, T-Dog? Or, see you, T-Dog. Hope you have a good game watching that one. Hopefully the Seahawks win for your sake. I hope St. Louis beats Birmingham next week and Michigan beats Houston. Do the Stallions have a chance to clutch next week? Yep. The Stallions, if the Panthers and Stallions win, the Stallions and Panthers clinch a playoff spot. Yeah, Mole, I know this sucks, like what Adrian's saying about can you imagine being a Roughnecks fan will suck. But yeah, St. Louis can now give Birmingham's first 3-loss season. They could. I mean, we could see 3 teams be eliminated from this week to next week at least, so it's insane. Overall, man, this was an insane game to watch. I'm glad that, we got this game picked by the community heroes. So again, if you want to become a community member for 99 cents a month or $2.99, you get to get an exclusive video every month, team emojis, and if you're a community hero, you get to vote in game on the second game we stream. Speaking of that, next week on Friday is the Tank Bowl number 2 between the Showboats and the Brahmas. Be looking for that. I will have a poll up for community heroes unless I have something that I can't do it. So be looking for that. And as always, guys, have a great night.